Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on the State of Grace podcast. I am so happy today because I haven't seen this lady in a very long time. She's a good friend of mine, and I love her. I've known her for a long, long time. She's an iconic host, okay? Wait till you know who it is. Ready? Okay. She was the host of Up All Night on USA Network, and now she's a lingerie mogul. She wrote a book called From Hollywood Bombshell to Lingerie Mogul: Life Lessons from the One and Only Rhonda Shear. Please welcome to the virtual stage my friend Rhonda Shear.
Thank you, Grace. Thank you so much. I love being with you. I
Me
really do. And I
too.
love the name, The State of Grace. I love it. It's great.
Thank you. Thank you. I am so happy that you're here because we needed to catch up.
We did. It's been a long time. A lot's happened and life happens. But you know what? When you're good friends, you can pick up where you left off and it doesn't matter. I
I
mean, I've
know.
done that recently with some friends. I mean, I'm talking about friends from high school and even grammar school. And I'm not
Wow.
kidding you. When you have friends and you grow up together, you just pick up where you left off, and it's kind of a wonderful feeling. Warms your
Abs-
heart.
Absolutely. And you and I almost became family.
We almost did become family. We did. Well, we are better.
We
It's
are
better now.
family, but we almost became like legally family because I was engaged to your ex-brother-in-law.
So funny. I
I
love life is so funny, and this just shows you how small this world is as well. But but it was, well, the one thing I realized about family is sometimes friends are even better because right now I'm not talking to two of my brothers. So,
know.
I mean, we come in, it's fine. It's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
you would think at our age that there wouldn't be craziness, but there's always craziness.
There's always, yeah. Age, it's not about age, it's about, right?
Right. Yeah, but your friends, they get over it. Your brothers, like they're still mad over things when that happened with the parents. And I'm like, were we living in the same house? Because I don't remember that. I was the
Wow.
baby. The baby gets a lot of flack sometimes.
Yeah, you were the baby, right? Yes.
I was the baby, and then everybody else was much older. So, when you're the baby, you feel like you're like the only child. And I think that's what they're jealous of. But you know what? It's okay. We love each other. When it
That's
comes down to, when it's like health and things like that, we speak. And other than that, we don't. And it's all fine.
yes, yes, and I can relate to that. Being family is hard, like blood family.
Blood family's hard. It's much harder than, yeah, extended family. And it's really interesting because I have a daughter-in-law now, and a 6-year-old grandson from my stepson. And I'm
Oh,
so close to them. And it's really funny. In the beginning, I was very wary of her because I was very protective of my stepson.
mhm.
And we became we're really close. And what's really interesting is the reason why I think I was worried, my husband was, is she's very much like me. She's a very strong woman, and she was in the entertainment business, and she was on American
Mm,
Idol. She's actually stronger than me in some ways. She's got the street smarts that I never had. But I'm like, she's so good for my stepson, just so good. So strong women are good. They truly are, you know.
yes,
We're the
they're
ones pushing from behind.
absolutely. They're scared of us, but that's okay.
Totally,
We're
totally
so
okay.
scary. Yes.
Ooh.
Well, you are a very strong woman, and I mean, you were a big figure in comedy, and you still
Thank
are.
you.
And you were a big figure during a time when the industry was even tougher for women than it is now, right?
Truly, Grace. I mean, let's see. I started stand up in about 1983, 4, somewhere in there.
Okay.
And, the Jerry Seinfelds were already out there and all those guys. But for women to get stage time was almost impossible. And I mean, they had the belly room at at the Comedy Store,
Yeah.
and Mitzi's Favorites back then. But Paula Poundstone. I mean, those were the names back then. But there was very few women that if you didn't look funny, or I don't mean necessarily look funny, but if you didn't dress down, you
Yes.
couldn't be glamorous, you couldn't be, you were too pretty to do stand up. I mean, I heard that over and over. that don't even try it. It's ridiculous. And agents, and when I had an agent, they didn't know what to do with me. So I think I may have told you this, I started a lot of showcases for women because I couldn't get stage time. So I went and begged Jamie Masada at the Laugh Factory to give me a Monday night. This is when his club was this big, and it was it was the club that no one wanted to work. I know, hard to believe that the Laugh Factory is such a major place now, but
Right.
been that way. But it was very small, narrow in its original room, and he gave me Monday nights, and he's just bringing an audience, and slowly but surely we built up an audience, and then I went to all kinds of places. We worked above a deli, but the girls just needed, and I'll always call them girls, stage time, and that
Yeah.
was the only way to get it, we had to create it. And so I used to call it, back then it was cool to use the name Babes of Comedy.
Wow.
And I really had fun hosting it. I mean, it gave me stage time. I gave a lot of young people, or young women's, and all age women, time on stage. So it was really very cool to do that in the 80s. And yeah, and I was stopped about in the early 90s, because then I was starting to headline and do things on my own. But stand up, as you know, takes a long time. It takes
Doesn't it?
it takes at least 10 years
Oh,
just to
that's
even do.
minimum.
Minimum. It really and truly, it's nothing you can do overnight. I mean, people think that, oh, you can be funny, but it's not the same. Put a mic in your hand and put someone on stage. It's complete. It's a hard job. It really is. And I love it.
Yes.
I will always love comedy. It'll always be my heart. I
Yes.
prefer just being funny now, because I am too lazy to write material. And people don't realize that you have to write material, but you have to deliver it as though you
Yes.
didn't write it. And if you mess up one word, then the whole joke is gone. But
It's messed up. Yeah, and they know you wrote it.
and then they know you wrote it. It's just such an interesting career and business. And I admire everyone. All the new ones is great comics, and then there's some I
Yes.
don't get. And
Yes.
then there's, as I was telling you before we went on, then there's friends of mine that are still working, that are way older than me, and I'm like, wow, I just can't imagine getting on the road, getting on a plane or a car and driving to a comedy club anymore. But God bless
No.
them. But it does feed your soul. And when I'm
Yes.
being funny and I'm getting laughs, whether I'm hosting a whatever, it could be a show, or even for Home Shopping Network or something, and laughs come, it's still that feeling that you just can't beat. Hearing the sound of laughter is great. Although the first time I got up on stage, someone coughed and I thought it was a laugh, and that's what
No, you didn't.
it was really and truly. I don't know if you remember. Oh my God. Oh, wait. His name will come. His name will come back to me. He passed away a few years ago. It'll come back, but he used to do a lot of showcases. Skippy Lowe. Did you ever meet Skippy
Yes,
Lowe?
yes, he had a show on Cafe Roma.
He was great, and he was
Yes.
around. I mean, my God, he passed away, I know, a few years ago now, but he was around forever. I don't know how old he was even when I started. But Skippy gave a lot of people stage time, but he didn't just give
Oh,
comics. He gave singers comics. I followed five little boys doing no, one boy doing an impression of Michael Jackson with four puppets, like he was attached to puppets, like they were all dancing together. And that was the very first person that I went on stage with my 5 minutes. But Skippy Love gave me my very first time on stage. So you never forget that.
oh, that is so sweet.
Yeah, he
He
was
was,
great. He was
he was,
really
yeah,
great to all. He was just such a big heart, and an icon if you're in LA. He wasn't really known
yes,
outside of LA, but he had his own TV shows and was very dramatic, and he was just a great guy. And then Sammy Shore, who was Mitzi Shore's husband,
yes.
who the original owners of the Comedy Store, he used to have showcases too, but they were only for comedy. And when I showed up at his, he was the one who said to me, I you're too pretty, which I guess that's a compliment. You're too sexy or whatever to do comedy. You should just really go back to law school. I'm like, what makes you think I
What?
would?
Wait, what? What the hell?
He did. And it broke my heart. And then it made me work harder, because that's
Yeah.
kind of my whole state of grace thing that I'll get into, because it made me work harder. When someone would tell me no, that I can't do something, it would make me just go harder for it. So
Yeah,
years later, when I was finally headlining, it was so much fun to go up where I saw Sammy at I don't know, award show or something. And I said, because of you, I'm doing this. And I thank you, because I'm a headlining comic. I got my own show.
I love
So
it.
if you wouldn't have told me not to do it, then I probably, that I might have given up. But telling me you can't do it, you're not, you don't have the, and back in LA, in Hollywood, back in those days, people were brutal. I mean, casting directors would tell you, you look a certain, you could never get away with that
Yes.
now. I mean,
Oh,
your
no,
nose is too
no.
big, your eyebrows are too weird, your
Oh,
mouth moves sexy, weird, the weirdest stuff that I would hear from people.
totally.
Oh, you could
Absolutely.
never do it. Never do
No,
it. You could never
not
get away.
today. Not today. Thank God, because it's a good thing. Look at Bill. His name is Bill with Blue Horseshoe, but I know it's Bill. Hi, Grace and Rhonda. I used to watch Rhonda on USA Up All Night.
Yeah, up all night. I'll say that
I'm
from
like, yeah.
you. Blue or horseshoe or bill.
Yes,
Thank you very
exactly.
much. It definitely defined my career. It wasn't the only thing I did, but it was definitely defined my career, and I love it. I mean, I'm so happy that I had 9 years of that show. It was great to do anything in LA for that amount of time, and then back then to get it on your own through the audition process is
Right.
even more amazing. That
Well,
was
tell us how did that come about? Like, how did you get the audition? How did you get the role? How, I mean,
well.
that's always fascinating because
Well,
it's
it also kind of goes back to again being told no my whole life through everything I've ever done.
yeah.
But I went to LA because I really wanted to do sitcoms. I mean, I loved comedy and I love the whole thing about, filming a sitcom in front of a live audience because you've got the live laughter. So it was like little mini theater to me.
Yes.
So that's, what was your original question? Yeah, I'm going off on a tangent.
What was my original question?
I can't remember.
Oh, how did
But
you get USA Up All
oh,
Night?
oh,
That
how
was
I
the
got it.
audition
Okay.
and all that. Yeah.
Well,
Woo!
I was told so many times that I was to this or to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't look a certain way to be funny, so I couldn't do sitcoms or I could do stand
Uh,
up. So finally, I tried to play against type. Then I tried to play girl next door. I took off all the makeup, went totally non-glam, and then I was told my mouth moved too sexy or something. It was just
no,
weird.
stop
So
it. I mean, they
yeah,
always find
it
something
was something so it was just
so
so weird.
stupid.
So I mean I was in a comedy improv class. I was the most comfortable there. I loved it. I loved doing
Yeah.
comedy improv. And then finally, I got this audition through my manager for USA Up All Night. They had another gal before me and they wanted to change directions. I thought she was great, but hey, they were looking for someone new. So I said, okay, I'll go out for this. They were looking for a host. And so everybody went on this audition looking like back in the day, news hosts would always wear suits and jackets. I mean, now that's changed.
Yes.
Now they dress sexier on all your news channels. But back then, there was a certain look to being a newscaster. So all these gals came in looking like newscasters. And I walked in and I'm like, you know what? I'm so tired of being told how to look, what to do. I'm just going to go for this. I am
Yeah.
going to be out there and outrageous because I did get a little intel that the girl they were letting go. They wanted her to be a little bit sexier. She was really funny. She was more today's kind of comedy. Caroline Schlitt was her name. I mean, she's still very
Carolyn
beloved.
Shea, I love her.
No, Caroline Schlitt.
Oh, Schlitt. Okay. Okay.
She's
Okay.
not in the
Wait.
industry anymore, but she is beloved. I mean, and people watched the show for about a year and a half, and she was on it. I don't think she's in the industry at all anymore, but she
Yeah.
was very. She could have survived today's kind of comedy, but they wanted this. They wanted something that you couldn't ask for today, sexy, over the top, And I'm like, okay, I got this little intel. So instead of going in a host outfit, I went to the audition dressed in this really low cut dress. I mean, I played kind of off the whole ditz thing, blow drying my hair or rolling my hair or doing something crazy throughout the audition. And I just said, I'm just going totally for it. And if I don't get it, I don't get it. But at least I'm doing something that I know that they wanted something really big,
Yes.
and they probably don't know what they want either, and they didn't. I didn't hear back. It was like another 3 months before I heard back from USA Network, and then they went with me. But even that, it took 3 months to decide on a host. So, but it was a great run, and fun. And now we're gonna reboot it and just do it on YouTube. And that all started because I got a call from Joe Bob Briggs, who's still doing his show. I don't know if you remember him, but he was a movie host around the same time, started around the same time that I did on TNT. And then he's been on, just Movie Channel. He's now on something called Shutter. But he has been, I mean, he had about 10 years off, but he's been doing this like ever since like when I started, like in the early 90s. So there's kind of this like little resurgence of these kind of B films and the horror films.
Ah,
It's actually people that grew up with us basically are now producing and directing this stuff. So it's like they're recreating their youth. And so they have such a love for excuse me, the films and the hosted films. So I mean, Joe Bob Briggs is killing it. He's got this huge audience of young fans that didn't know about it, and then he's got the fans from that grew up with him. So anyway, long story short, he asked me to be on a special show that he had, like a marathon of movies that was, for a holiday, and I did it, and a lot of his fans just really reached out. I reached out to them, I tagged them, and then I started saying, well, I'm gonna reboot Up All Night on my own. And so I picked up a lot of followers through Joe Bob. So very
nice.
cool. So I think there's definitely room out there. There's room out there now in this world of social media and so many
Yes.
streaming channels to do whatever you want. If I really do think you have to do it on your own. I
Yes,
do.
I think so. I think that's the trend. I think Hollywood is fading away. That's what I think.
Well, I think you can do it from anywhere. The fact that I can audition
Yes, you can do
from
both. Yeah.
Florida, and a lot of filming is being done right now in Atlanta,
Yes.
and we have a home in North Carolina, which is about an hour and change out of Atlanta. So I often use that as my They'll say, "Where are you from?" And I'll say, "Well, I have a house in Florida, but Highlands, North Carolina," because I know that's very close to Atlanta. So I mean, I just auditioned for. I didn't get it; it didn't hear, but it was a Tyler Perry show, which was
Oh,
very cool.
nice.
Yeah, I mean, it was just fun to do it, and the fact is, I would love to work out of Atlanta because that's close, whether it's Florida or Highlands, North Carolina. And I have to say, just I did Joe Bob Briggs in Atlanta in a studio outside of Atlanta, and it was great. It's just amazing what's going on there. They call it
Yeah,
Hollywood South, they really do. So
absolutely.
there's a lot happening. We used to have more in Florida, but we don't have the tax incentives that Atlanta's smart. And
They
it's centrally
do.
located, yeah. No, but I really think that now you can do it anywhere, and all
Anywhere you want. Yes.
these young singers are making it right off of, TikTok and Instagram, and they put it out there, and I mean, they're discovered, and I think it's very cool because there's so much
Yeah.
talent in this
Yes.
country and in this world, and before, unless you somehow got to LA, got to New York, or got lucky enough at a local place somehow to be discovered or something, you couldn't do it. But now you can get your face in front of people.
Absolutely. You can do it yourself, 100%. And if people resonate with your message or with you, they
Right.
will follow you and they're loyal.
They
And
are loyal.
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
this
And
is really, truly, I mean, going back, and I'm not getting into politics, but how they said, the reason why the election happened the way it did is because of the podcast that Trump chose to do instead of
yeah,
regular newscast. Because I do think that younger people are getting their news on, like they are getting their news on TikTok, and they are
yeah,
listening to Joe Rogan's podcast, and you're reaching,
yeah,
people that you couldn't reach before. It's so funny
absolutely.
about Joe Rogan because I did a show years ago that I hosted a comedy show, and I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's on my YouTube. I have a YouTube channel called Rhonda Shear TV, but it's up there. But I hosted all these people are totally famous now, but Joe Rogan was one of the comics that I introduced. And
Yeah,
boy, talk about looking totally different than he did. I mean, of course he was young, but it was just a whole different look. But it was fun, that I have that in my. I mean, the people that went through my life on Up All Night that I met and worked with was pretty phenomenal time in my life. As I'm sure what you're doing. I mean, you get to meet some just amazing folks and interview amazing people.
well, like yourself.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Oh,
I- You
you're
know, I it,
welcome.
it's but I mean, you asked me about, like how did you put it? You
So
explain
the
it.
chat. So this podcast is about talking about challenges, which we've been talking about being a woman in Hollywood, right? A female comic,
Especially
and
back then. Whew,
back then, oh yeah, oh my gosh. Well, still not easy, but
I bet.
yeah. But and then the challenges that you had throughout your life and how you overcame them, and then if you reached now your state of grace after all those challenges, which I call the state of grace, your ideal state of being, whatever that means to you.
It's so funny because I feel like I'm close to that now, but
Really?
I feel like, of course, life's a journey, and I was like this, 100 miles an hour, and I'm still pretty fast. And I'm not talking about age. I'm just saying like I still go to
Sorry,
sleep at,
you hear the sirens?
oh, LA. Yes,
Yeah, I mean, it's awful. Sorry, guys.
it's okay. It's part of life.
Yes.
Um, but you know what? When I went to LA, I mean, with vim and vigor, nothing could stop me. No one could tell me that I didn't look right or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, even the very first thing I ever did was Charlie's Angel. I was a extra on Charlie's Angels, and back then was the era of what they call jiggle. So it was all about boobs. I mean, everybody had fake boobs. You had to have fake boobs
I
in Hollywood.
can't. Yeah,
Just you
that's
had
true.
to. No one has boobs anymore, but everyone had big boobs then.
Yes.
But so I mean, I'm new. I walk on the set. I'm in this little gold May bikini as an extra, and I got thrown off the set because I was distracting from the girls. I'm like, oh my god, I can't even be an
No.
extra. No, I had like great stories, just like you. I mean, the things that I did, the crazy things I did,
You're too
but
something, like I've been told you're too Latina for this role and your accent shows through, or you're too white for the Latina role, you're too fat for this role, you're too skinny for
oh
this
yeah.
role, it's
But they
like,
really can't do that. I mean, so now when the few auditions that I've had on tape, they don't put a race or
yeah.
weight, or they can't. So they
Really?
may be looking for a type, and they may not want your type or your ethnicity, however you say that word. But I can't say that word. You have to say it.
Ethnicity.
Thank you.
I'll say it for you
I
with my
could
Latino
say it any
accent.
other time except when I'm trying to say it. Um, but they can't put it. They can't write it now.
Yeah.
And like back in the day, they would say looking for blonde over the top, or the dumb blonde, or I mean, they would out and out say so you could
Hmm.
at least go dressed or in that mindset. But now they won't say it. So the only way I've ever known it is I've auditioned for a couple of roles with very exotic names, and I'm like, this doesn't fit my look, this
Yeah.
name. So, and then eventually I've seen, who it was cast, and it definitely was not for me, but at least, I got the audition, and I think
Yeah.
that's fun. And they're looking at people, I hope.
Absolutely. And also, if you get the audition, the casting director knows you. And
Right.
when you show up, if they liked you, which, we are at
Oh,
our best with good
this,
audition.
I'm trying to think of the name of the show. It's called the oh my God, I'm telling you, this is because it's late for me. It's 10:30.
Oh my
It's past
God.
my bedtime now.
So,
No, it's totally fine. But one of the Tyler Perry shows, and I have to say, is it King? All the Queen's Men. So I don't know if you've heard of it.
yes.
It's a really sexy show. So I had not seen it. So I looked at it on YouTube so I could see
Yes.
what I was auditioning for, and I was like, wow, it's very stylized. This is really really cool. Well, anyway, the part was, she is an entrepreneur, but for the sex industry. So
Okay.
I thought it was perfect for me being in the intimate apparel.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if I was the right type, but it was still like, yeah, I'm the entrepreneur type, and I do the sexy lingerie. But anyway, getting back to what I've gone through, Hollywood, I went there, and when you are very young, you don't take no for an answer, and you just keep going and you do anything. And the thing is, I was there in an era, and I know you've been there long enough that you definitely had to go through the Me Too stuff too.
Yes.
Now, oh, I'm
Oh,
looking at.
here. Speaking of auditioning for roles, what would be your perfect role if you could design that for yourself?
I
Ooh, good
think it's very
question.
similar to the one that I just read for. I mean, I think now I could incorporate an entrepreneur, but I'd love it to be comedy. Like, I think an entrepreneur funny. I really feel like Jennifer Coolidge I would have, if I would have stayed in Hollywood, I think that those were the kind of roles that I would have gone out for.
I
But
agree.
they never call her a dumb blonde. She's
No.
just quirky. But
Yeah.
back then, if you were playing those roles, you would have been considered a dumb blonde. but she's not. She's far from it. And they're hard. They're actually hard roles to do. They're not easy at all. To play the dumb blonde, you really can't be the dumb blonde.
You can't. You have to be smart to be able to play
Yeah,
dumb,
you
right?
really do. You really, really do. So, but I mean, I did everything, and and I had this energy, and then I was told I wanted comedy, and
Yeah.
then so I did, I did stand up, even though people said no, you'll never be a headliner, and I headlined, and I opened for
Good.
people in Hollywood, and I headlined comedy clubs all over the country, headlined Vegas. So once you've did my own shows, so I accomplished that, and I feel like I am a very goal oriented person, even to this day. I
Yes.
still have goals. Like I still have these dreams at night. Like, why am I having these dreams at night at my age of getting ahead, doing certain things? I'm like, wow, that's like why aren't I just like happy, like wanting to retire?
Right.
And I don't want to retire.
You're never going to
And
retire. We're
I don't
not retiree people.
no, no. Well, and I don't think I can because we have a great business, which is Rhonda
Yeah.
Shear Intimates, and we're doing. We had a kind of a slower year after the whole COVID thing, but everything's like really great and on point for next year. And like I told you, my company's building a soundstage studio that can be rented. Either we can give them full service, or they
Amazing.
can just rent the space. It's for podcasts, for music, for film,
Brilliant.
TV,
Yeah.
commercials. And for here, for where we are in St. Petersburg, Florida, the closest is to Orlando, which is pretty much taken up by Disney and out there. It's very hard to get studio space, or Atlanta. So there's even Miami might have a few, but they're doing a lot in Miami. So there's really no studios in the whole state. I mean, there's a few, but they do very well because there's not that many of them. So I'm pretty excited about it. And it's called Sheer Media. So I
I
didn't
love it.
I know.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm excited, and it's coming along. I mean, we have a couple of really big companies that are in this area. Big companies. I can't say the names, but furniture companies that are out of here, and grocery stores that are out of this area, and they're looking for us to use us as their regular place to film commercials, and that would be. That'd be just so amazing. So even though it's kind of full circle, I mean, it's
Yeah.
behind the scenes, but it puts my stepson in charge, and he's really creative. So I love that. It's kind of like, if I could leave that legacy behind, that would be great. I mean, I'd love to leave behind Rhonda Sheer Intimates, but I think I'm very so woven into the brand. I'm not sure if that would last without me being on
Mm,
and part
yeah.
of it. Who knows? I don't know. Or maybe it could turn into other brands. I don't know, but it's great. I really enjoy being an entrepreneur. Like I went from the acting, and I really at the beginning I went fighting into this business because I was married, and part of us we got into the industry because my husband and I were newlyweds and we needed to do something to make money. So we kind of fell into it. I mean, a
Yeah.
little bit of beginner's luck, which I never had in my career, but that we reached out to HSN, and they were looking for someone to fill an intimate apparel spot. Submitted some things, and went on, and got lucky that, like you said, that the people liked me. They liked me, and we had a good product. The product obviously got better because in the beginning, we were new. I learned the industry as I went. Now I'm 22 years into doing intimate apparel. I know it's pretty
That's
crazy.
amazing.
It's pretty crazy. So yeah, I can't believe it. I'm doing a promo in a couple of weeks with HSN, and we were just talking about all the things that we're putting together for it. And I was like, wow, it's been a long journey. But just like stand up, you never stop learning. And we manufacture everything. So literally we create, our we design everything in-house. It's made in-house, and then we send it to different places in the world. We'd
Yeah.
love to manufacture in the country. We manufacture a few things here, but USA is not really set up for the kind of large scale manufacturing that we do. And
Ah,
I know people don't realize that everybody wants things made in the USA. So do I. My husband and I are desperate for that. But like we manufacture. I'm having a hot flash, so my little fan. Still have hot flashes at my age.
wow.
But I know. I have my little fan here by the bed. It's a fan.
That's not fair. Why?
I know. I don't know. It's
Oh,
just it's just my family, Bridget too. Everybody. It's like terrible.
oh my God.
But it's been a journey and a fun to learn a whole nother business from
Yeah.
scratch.
Yes.
out of necessity. But listen, even with our business, my husband and I were told, well, you can't do that. There's too many intimate apparel business. How can you break into this business? There's too many
Right.
companies. There's this, they name all the big names. And I just had to be different. And I never, even just like I did in show business, I never looked left or right. There was gorgeous girls, funnier girls, more
Yeah,
talented women.
you
I
can.
just always did my own thing. And then even in the intimate apparel business, I always just designed, I'm like, well, this would really be cool because this would work for me. And
Right.
usually if it works for you, it's going to work for someone else. So I never really copied. Yeah, I've gotten ideas. I mean, everybody looks at everybody else's products, but I like that it's our own thing and that
Yes.
it's designed by us. And sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. But we have some iconic products that have hit. But I mean, it's an incredible business. Just I love it just as much as show business. It's just different.
Yeah,
Show business was
absolutely.
exciting and fun, and there was like, events always. This is, it's entrepreneur, but we did win, Florida's Entrepreneur of the Year and most iconic
Congrats.
product. I mean, we've won a lot of awards through the years, which is very exciting. But I have to say that I feel a little more peaceful now, although there is something
Okay.
inside of me still driving me to
Yes.
do more. And I'm like, what? I mean, I wrote a book, like you said. Thank you for that. So I don't feel like I have to write another book. um,
Check. Yeah. Entrepreneur check.
you know what? The writing a book is. I mean, yeah, I have a lot of ideas, but it's really hard. And I know it's not
Yeah.
easy because
Yeah.
I literally put it down for like a year and a half, and I just couldn't even look at it. I couldn't even, and
Yeah.
then getting back into it was hard. But so
100%.
I'm glad I did it, but I don't think I could do it. As a matter of fact, I was looking at my original notes and some of the original transcripts, and I was like, can't believe I even did this. But you go through. I think I've gotten more. OCD through the year or years or
No.
more age. I know, not
Yeah.
just more
I know what
like,
you mean. More of a perfectionist, maybe
yeah,
a
more
little bit.
a little bit of a perfection, and then also I don't have the patience. So it's a little bit of both. It's like I want it to be really good, but I don't have the patience. But here's the great thing: when you get old, when you get a little bit older and you have your own business, then you're able to designate. Like, I have wonderful, wonderful people that work for us,
Yes.
and delegate to a great group of women that we have working at Sheer Enterprises, and they're so talented, and they're younger, and they've got that energy, so they're
Right.
able to do. I'm like, could you do this? And they're like, yeah, that's no problem. So that's part of just, growing up with it. Just like you have an engineer now. You don't have to do all these things on your own. So it's the same part of the process. I mean, yes, I love being the figurehead of the company and my name and the president, but it's
Yeah.
great to have a team behind you that they're
Absolutely.
the ones that are really they're getting it done.
You need the support, especially with the size of your business. You definitely need that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And my husband needs it. He does too. I mean, and that's why, my stepson he's really in charge of day-to-day business, and it's really great. He's head of operations.
Nice.
And we have to step in there. Obviously, we can't just let it go all the way, but it's really wonderful to see him loving it and wanting to do it. So we feel very blessed with that because not always kids want to pick up the family business, but he was smart.
That's great. I love that. And speaking of your book, it touches on both personal and professional hurdles, right?
It
And
does.
looking back, what were some defining moments that tested your resilience?
Oh gosh, some of the things that I've already. Well, I'll tell you one of the things because see, when you get older, you'll just say things. I don't think I told you this story before, but it's in my book, and it's about Henry Winkler. I'm not sure if I told you my Henry Winkler story.
I
One
I
day,
read your book, but I read
okay,
it like for like 4 years ago.
okay. Well, this really tested resilience in LA, because I went out there to be a sitcom star or
Yeah.
sitcom actress. I mean, most people want film. The whole time I was on Up All Night, I could have probably been in so many films because so many of producers and directors of B films, but they were formidable, came through my life, and I would be such a star. I would know I'm interested in TV. I don't want to do film. I could have done so many
Oh.
films. And I
Oh.
mean, so many of these actresses went on to do major things, but I really was focused on
Focus.
television.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
It's
I
where I
totally get it.
was. But when I first got to LA, I auditioned for Happy Days and got one, then got another one. And then they would start calling me just for smaller parts. Yeah, I didn't even have to go and audition because they felt, comfortable with me. The casting director knew me, the producers knew me. So one particular time I had this part, and it was one of the smaller roles, but it was with Henry Winkler. Like I was on his arm because I was his girlfriend the whole time, the Fonz. And so I only had a couple of lines, but still, they were using me kind of on a regular basis. So um, I asked the casting director, the producer, the director. I got cast in a commercial that same week, and it was on a Thursday. And sitcoms, if you know sitcoms, usually they work all week. You start on a Monday, you have a
Yes.
table read, and then they get up and they walk through it, and then it's rehearsal. Thursday is like you're off book completely, and then Friday they tape. They do
Yes.
two tapings on Friday. At least that's the way Happy Days, the most of the ones that I worked on was. Well, Thursday was a run through, and I got this commercial. And at the time, when you're a young actor, you want a commercial because that pays the bills because of the residuals. And it was for Kentucky Fried Chicken, so it was like a really big commercial.
Yeah.
And I asked everyone if I could take off for one of the, half the day or part of the day, and they all said, yeah, well, Henry, you've been working the whole week. You've got it. You're just really blah, blah, blah. It's a couple lines. But I mean, they didn't think anything of it. I didn't ask Henry because Henry's an actor. I asked the producer, the
Of
director,
course. Yeah.
casting director even. They all said yes. So anyway, long story short, I walked back in the set the next day to do my role. I show up at Paramount to the Happy Days set, and I walk in there and I go to my dressing room and my name's not on the door. There's some other name on the door. And I was like,
What?
yeah. So anyway, I found someone on stage. I don't remember who, and I said, Rhonda, and I had this role. Blah blah blah. Oh yes, Henry wants to see you in his dressing room. So I go to Henry Winkler's dressing room. He had his like own little whatever. I don't know what it was, but it was like his own thing. He was big. He was powerful,
Yeah.
and I felt like the little kid going into his dressing room. And he sits me down. And he says, "Look, I had you replaced. I had you replaced."
Oh my
He
God.
says there was a girl standing in for you yesterday, and I forget the term they used, but I made her Screen Actors Guild. She wasn't SAG. I made her SAG before
Tough
SAG after
Harley. Tough
Taft
Harley.
Taft
Yeah.
Hartley'd her and made her SAG. And I wanted to teach you a lesson. And the lesson is, he says, I did something similar to what you did when I was in college. I took something else. He goes, but if you want to be a serious actress, you can't do what you did. You can't take another job. And I said, and I'm crying. I mean, I'm 22 years old.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I never would have done it. I never would have done it. I would have turned down the commercial.
yeah.
And I think he could have given me a slap on the hand without firing me,
I
because
know.
what happened by him firing me is that even though everyone liked me, like Bobby Hoffman, who was the casting director,
Yeah.
and Jerry Paris, the producer or creator, basically I was blackballed from all of their shows, which was Mork and Mindy and Laverne and Shirley. And so even Bobby
Ugh.
Hoffman, who loved me as a casting director, the next time I auditioned for him, I was 30 years old. So basically, that was a whole, I mean, he taught me a lesson that but anyway, this is very interesting though, because that was definitely I think back now, and it was not only a turning point, but probably kept me from ever getting the sitcom of my dreams. And and,
Oh, I'm
and only
sorry. That
because uh,
sucks.
yeah, that's only because they had so many shows on the air at the time. I mean,
Right.
I did get other sitcoms. I mean, I was, on a lot, but that one I felt like I was really making inroads there. I
Mhm.
never would have done that. And I mean, I'm crying. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I never would have done this. I didn't think to ask you, blah, blah. I got permission. He goes, well, you should just know better. Anyway, it was the most
I don't like
heartbreaking.
that he did that to you. Honest. I don't think that's
Well, he
he's an
said, I
actor.
had you Taft Hartley. I
Yeah.
forgot that term. I didn't put that in my book because I forgot that term when I was writing the book. I mean, you just made it pop in it when you said it.
Yes.
But you know what's really interesting? Somebody I was doing an interview for my book, I can't remember who. I think it was actually a regional newspaper here in Florida. Said, do you mind if I reach out to Henry Winkler's publicist? And I said, no, I don't mind. No, I'd love you to reach out to him about this. And so they did. And publicist was irate and he said that he would never do anything like that. He was an actor on the show.
Oh,
Would
he's
never,
lying. Oh my God.
because he may not be the one who was the one that told me. Well, he did actually. He is the one who told me the bad news. But he went to them and said, I'm not going to put up with this, and
Sounds
remove
to
Rhonda.
me, as you're speaking, like a power trip on his. Uh,
It was like
yeah.
the last year of Happy Days. So he was at, the biggest. And he does a lot of these autograph shows, and I've never run into him at one of them. And I know he's gone on and done well. And and everybody says amazing things how sweet he is. And finally, I ran into someone. I can't remember who was an actor, and I was talking about the Henry Winkler story, and they said, I won't use the words, but basically they did not say nice things about him. He's got another side, and I mean, I
Yeah.
only knew that side. He was very nice to me on all the other shows that we did, and I had you know uh, a lot of lines with him on the other three that I did, but not. But anyway, it was horrible, and I totally blame that because Mark and Mindy there's so many, Laverne and Shirley. What else? There's just a whole bunch of stuff that Jerry Paris did. I told Jerry Paris about it years later at the Playboy Mansion, but basically he was like, eh. But
Yeah. It's
he didn't remember.
Hollywood. It's like,
He didn't
eh,
remember. He didn't
yeah.
remember it. But I know Henry does, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Oh, you know he does.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Somebody like him, he's seen me around. He knows. I
Of
mean,
course
and
he did.
he knew who I was. It was really, really wrong. So
Oh,
I guess that's another reason that through my career, what I love
yeah.
doing is bringing girls up, and I call
Yes, you
girls.
do. You do that.
I love helping women. I love it. I do it
Yes.
in my career. I did it in my showbiz career. I did it. I do it in for my models, for entrepreneurs if they need help. A lot of the charity and philanthropic things I've done. I feel like women, and it goes back to me being the girl that was told you can't do this, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So, from the way I feel is you can't really push someone down because cream will always rise to the top.
Yeah.
So, even though maybe I didn't get that sitcom of my dreams, I have this wonderful life and this beautiful career now. And I did have my beautiful years on Up All Night, and I had a working career in LA for 26 years, so hi,
That's impressive.
Evan.
Oh, Evan. Hi,
Hi, Evan.
Evan.
It's very
Thank you for all the
sweet.
hearts. I know. I
I
love
know.
Evan.
Thank you. But yeah, so it's just interesting. I mean, one day maybe I will confront him. I mean, who knows? I'll
Yeah,
probably
I would.
chicken out. I'll
Call me.
probably go
Let me
back to
know.
being that.
I want to be filming that. I'll be
I
like,
might go back to being the little girl and like, no, but I think at a certain point in life, I might have to bring that up. And
yeah,
he'd probably say the same thing. I didn't do it. I'm like, Henry, you sat me down in your dressing room and told me you had the other girl Taft Hartley
yeah,
on the spot. So yeah,
yeah.
you did it.
Oh, yeah. He knows. They just, yeah.
And
He knows what he did wasn't nice.
it wasn't nice. It really wasn't. First of all, 22, 23 years old, you're so young.
No.
And he was talking about something that happened to him in college. College is not the same thing as professional. Once you get
Yes.
to a professional,
Yeah.
that really can hurt you as it did. And I really did feel bad. And gosh, knows I weeped and weeped in front of him.
Oh,
But, because you're a child. I mean, you're new and you want to make
yes.
and then you have to call your parents and tell your parents that you were thrown off and fired of
Oh,
Happy Days.
I know. I think he should have just called you and said, "Hey, listen, don't do
Don't
this
do it
again."
again.
Yeah, and that's it. Easy peasy.
That's
But
what I would have
no.
done. I would have
Yeah.
said, hey, you should have come to me. I don't know. I mean, I thought I was doing everything right. And then talk about poetic justice. The Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial never ran. It got pulled for some reason. It was really cute. So I lost
No.
every, but you know what I did learn, and what I did learn
Yeah,
was to be more gracious and not to make stupid mistakes like that, which I didn't really feel was a mistake. But I'm sure I spoke to even my parents about it at the time, and I'm sure that they would have said, I can't remember, but I'm sure they said, hey, if you got the approval, it's okay. No one ever,
absolutely. Yeah.
because I never would have done anything
Of
like that. I
course,
mean, my
especially
gosh.
when you're that young, you don't know. They say, "Okay, you can do it." You're like, "All right, great." You
Right.
can't even think that somebody is going to be that mean to get you fired.
Right. But
Yeah,
those are the moments. I mean, and those you talk about moments that stood out in my life. That's
yeah,
definitely one of them. And
yeah.
But there was a lot of those. I mean, even when I was in New Orleans, I ran for public office when I was in New Orleans, and that came from, I think you read the book, but I
Yes.
was queen of something called the Floral Trail Society, which doesn't exist anymore, but it's like a social honor. It's kind of like a Mardi Gras thing, not a beauty contest, but like my parents had put up money, and I was queen of this, and then I posed for Playboy with all my clothes on. Playboy
Yes.
came through town, and I just wanted to meet the photographer. I was always curious. And I'm like, I know I'm wasting your time. I'm not going to take off my clothes. He goes, no, we always, this was Girls of the New South. We always shoot a few women with their clothes on. And sometimes they make the magazines, sometimes they don't, when they would do these themed articles back then.
Yes.
And he goes,
Yes.
I can't guarantee you'll make it, but I shot in this antebellum Scarlett O'Hara gown. I mean, actually, it was just like over the top dressed. And just the connotation back then of being in Playboy, the Floral Trail defloraled me. They took my title away.
No.
So that was like the first time I was fired, you know.
Jeez.
But that was monetary too. So I brought them to you'll love this, Grace. I brought a case to court. I
Good.
filed an injunction to be reinstated as queen because what they were doing was completely wrong. I did not take off
Yes.
my clothes. Not that should have mattered, but I mean, for this right kind of thing, this right kind, I don't know, image of the girl. I mean, I was surrounded by girls without clothes, but I had all my clothes on. But I had these are names that you may or may not remember from New Orleans, but Jimmy Fitzmaurice, I had Blaine Kern, I had all these
Blinker.
big names. Jimmy Fitzmaurice was lieutenant governor at the time. They all stood up on the stand and said Rhonda's a fine young lady and she
Oh,
should. So anyway, the judge felt that he at the time that he didn't have he could not reinstate me as queen, but he said I could file for monetary damage. Well, at that time, I was modeling in New Orleans and this and that, but my career wasn't worth that much monetarily at that time. But somewhere I have in my because I've kept everything from my life in my
yes.
office. I have the whole transcript from that case. It would be hysterical to read again. Hysterical because they were trying to say I had my hands like this over my dress. It was an off the shoulder dress, and they were now this picture was about this big in the middle of like all the other pictures. They were trying to say that my thumb was my nipple and that my nipple was showing. So
No.
they had all these people in the courthouse like with It was insane.
No.
It was
Oh
insane.
my
But
God.
that was when I realized that it didn't matter how young or old you are, that if somebody wants something from you or against you, for you
Against
or
you.
against you,
Yeah.
they're going to take it. And
Yeah.
so, anyway, my sister, Nona, who was
Yes.
married to your one time fiance, she was very
What's
mischievous.
her
She was very mischievous. And I just finished college, and she goes, you really should run for office against the guy who was president. His name was Gaspar Sciro. He's passed away, but he was really a nice guy. You should run against him. He was the head of the Floral Trail. Well, it wasn't Gasper. It was I love that name, Gasper Sciro. But anyway, it was all the women. It was his wife. It was all the women that got together. The guys didn't care about me being in Playboy, but all the women of the Floral Trail. "Hey, she can't
Oh,
be
they
here."
were jealous, Rhonda. They were
They
jealous.
were jealous. So
Sorry, let me call it. Yeah.
but I ran against Gasper and I almost won. I lost by 135 votes. Do you know that Gasper was in that office? He won and he stayed in office for like 25, 26 years.
Ah, that's
And the guy
crazy.
before him was in the office for 22 years. But here was I was also told you can't run for. I was the youngest. This is how far back in politics I go. The youngest and first woman to ever run for politics in the state of Louisiana. The
No,
youngest person and the first woman.
that is crazy. The first woman.
The first woman and the youngest person ever. So that was really cool. I mean, it was a cool experience. And I really learned at that point to stand up for myself, even though I was really
Good.
young. That I didn't win the court case, but then a year later, when he was running for office and I was out of college, I ran against him. It kept me out of LA an extra year because I wanted to go to LA, and that's why I think I was 23 when I moved to LA, not 22 when I right out of college. So
You went to
Yeah,
Loyola, right?
I went to Loyola.
I did too for my
Yeah.
MBA. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I was supposed to just be in LA for a few months. My parents were really into, first of all, they looked into me going for my master's out there. And then, but I went to the Academy of Dramatic Arts in Pasadena because they just wanted me in this school environment.
Yeah.
It made them feel better.
Yeah.
So I talked two of my friends from college to moving out there with me because my parents
Oh,
didn't want me to go by myself. So I had these two other roommates. One of them, I just had a little birthday party in New Orleans at Galatoire's, and one of my girlfriends from that time. I mean, and we were talking about the things that we did in those very early days of Hollywood. That I talked these two girls. She didn't stay long. The other gal stayed a few years, but and then left eventually too. And I was the only one. I'm sure that happens that, a bunch of girls go out and how many people stay out of the group. But we were
yes.
talking about some really funny, crazy things that we did early on. I mean, not funny, crazy like naughty, just the opposite. Like we lived on Cynthia Street in West Hollywood in an apartment
Oh
building.
my gosh. Yeah, I know where that is. I'm close to that. Yes.
I said, lived on Cynthia Street. It was this great apartment, it's probably a condo now. And I we heard like what we thought were gunshots. But back then things weren't as crazy as they are now, but I don't think they were. But we had our laundry was below the building in the basement because the, the laundry machines were in the parking garage, that's where they were. Like, they had a laundry room. And my parents had me so afraid of everything that I'm like, I'm not going into the garage to go get those were shots. I'm scared. And they will all go together. No, I'm not. So I called a taxi, and the taxi picked us up in front of the building and drove us around into the garage so we could get our clothes out of the dryer. She brought that up in
I
front of
cannot.
everybody the other night at my birthday. She goes, "Oh my God, Rhonda, the things you did." It was true. I mean, I was afraid of
That's
my own shadow.
hilarious.
It's amazing I got ahead in LA at all because I was chased around a few rooms with the home before me too, and some scare, and then sometimes just something would tell me not to do something, or I would
Yeah.
take a friend with me to an audition because it was
Yeah.
scary times. And you did
Yeah.
hear things like, I mean, I had guys tell me, if you don't do this, I'm blackballing you from the industry. Oh yeah, no, it was. I
That's
mean,
so in so many words. Like,
and oh yeah,
no, yeah, like, yeah.
oh my gosh, Ray Stark. He produced Funny Girl and Funny Lady. I mean, he was old, and he was like literally, if you look him up, he was like one of the old Hollywood, like from
Yeah.
old Hollywood. And I had an agent who sent me to meet him on an open call. And I was young. I had my little portfolio from New Orleans, my little modeling thing. And I showed up at his office, and he's like sitting behind his desk, and he has this whole bungalow, a big bungalow. And he's looking through my portfolio. You're a lovely young lady. You're going to do very well here. Thank you, Mr. Stark. I love Funny Girl and Funny Lady and all the other classic films that you did. And he goes, but let me tell you something, young lady. You have to be willing to wallow in the dirt of Hollywood to get ahead. And I'm like,
He was grooming you.
yeah.
Yeah.
He says, I'd like you to meet me at my house in Palm Springs this weekend.
Oh,
And
hell no.
I was like, but he didn't try anything, but I said, okay, I'll let you know. And I walked out and I called my agent, and I actually said to her, I said, I feel like you set me up on this because she probably would have gotten a kickback of some kind if I would have gone. I bet you he
Wow.
would have paid her. Anyway, never heard from her again. Never heard from him again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's very, very LA, very Hollywood for
I mean,
sure.
I don't know. Can those things even happen anymore? I mean,
Not anymore. I don't think so. They
I
still
mean,
happen, but I'm sure like if there are people that don't even care anymore, I guess, if they
well, I mean,
get them, but
I mean, I had girlfriends that actually came right out and said, I had a girlfriend back in the day when Neiman Marcus, you could get clothes from Neiman Marcus and return it, and they would give you cash. It was great back then. I
nice.
never did that. But I mean, so she would get guys, she would model for them outside the dressing room, do a little dance. She
I
was
love
she was a
it.
stand-up comic. And
Yeah,
then they'd buy her clothes, she'd turn around,
and
go get the money,
return.
and then
Genius.
pay her rent. But I mean,
Genius.
I'm not putting her down. Whatever she did, she
No,
did. I
that's
mean,
what I'm just genius.
yeah.
I
I
I
never
wish
did.
I would have done that back in the day.
I
Damn.
wanted the clothes. I, but I was like, wow, that's amazing that you did that. Yeah. But, it means, so, I mean, so when I think back on some of the women who did speak out and didn't speak out on the Me Too
Yeah.
originally, there was a lot of girls that were playing that game and that did
Yes.
get ahead. And
Yes.
I think
Maybe
probably that
they
was
thought
still,
that was the only way they could succeed.
or you know, there's a lot of strong women that I see women even in my industry, all industries that are strong that will do anything to, I mean, just
Yeah.
any, whatever, and not necessarily sex. I mean, but they'll walk over whoever
Other, yes, yes, I
and
get
not
it.
think about it. So I think a lot of it's that, like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there.
To get,
I,
yeah.
I'm not, I mean, my mother had me afraid to get my laundry without getting a taxi driver. So, I mean, it's amazing that I lasted in LA 26 years,
That's
because
hilarious.
I mean, I was scared of my own shadow there. And I probably, if I would have done a little bit more going out and a little bit more socializing, I hid behind guys. I had a couple of guys in my life that were nerdy comics. I hid behind them because they were my little safety
Right.
nets.
Yes.
So I didn't socialize or go out and do some of the things that maybe I should have just. I didn't sleep around. Maybe I should have a little bit, but so I mean, some of those guys were kind of cute too.
That's
I
what I was
definitely
going to say, if you're into them, but
No, I definitely had my share of really good guys, really
yes,
solid guys come through my life that I pushed
nice.
away from, that I was stupid. And I don't mean just because of, I mean, they were just like any other guy. They're going to try, or I mean, just
Yeah,
normally try. They
yeah.
weren't, I'm not talking about chasing me around offices. The one interview was actually at Paramount in a real office. Real agent sent me, and it was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon though, and people were like kind of leaving 5 or 6. It was a little later in the day, and then I didn't hear anything out in his front office, and we were in his office. He goes, "I really feel we should. You're really good for this role. I feel like we should act out the love scene." I'm like, oh, and then I got
Oh
up and I
my
got
God.
out. There was no one out there, and I
Ooh.
mean, he wasn't chasing me, but I just ran.
Yeah, no, no. Some situations, you're in danger and you leave. I've been in situations too. Yeah. Just
You
leave.
just
Yeah, no
leave.
excuses. Like, why? Because I'm leaving.
Right. I had a
No, it's funny
photographer
too.
once who he says, "Look, we're gonna catch his picture at the top of top of maybe it was Mulholland, I don't remember, but we kept climbing and climbing. I didn't know where I was. And I just remember
Oh,
when somebody telling me I was in my car, he was in his car because we had done some shooting in the day. But all of a sudden it was late, it was weird. All of a sudden I just had this thing come over my body that just didn't feel right. And all I remember is people said, when you're in the mountains, just nose down, put your car, make sure that you just keep heading down hills, and nose down of the car. So I kept just finding this. I turned around in a driveway and I fled, never heard from him again. He was up to no good. I mean, some things, I mean,
wow.
things do happen there and you really do have
Oh
to be
yeah.
careful.
Oh
I
yeah. I
mean,
have some stories too. Where,
there's also just crazy people like everywhere,
yes.
but so I went through that, and I mean, hopefully there's not as much of that. But obviously, what's going on in the music business now, is kind of shocking.
Crazy. Yes.
I think it's kind of shocking, and I mean, I
Yes.
was reading just some articles that there's like 4 or 5 people that control the music industry, and I'm kind of shocked over this after what happened, with Weinstein, that this would still go on. But I guess some people feel bulletproof that maybe
Absolutely. They get cocky. It's like, yeah, they haven't caught me and I'll keep doing it.
I'll keep
But
doing it.
eventually they'll catch you.
Eventually, yeah. So, I mean, if that happens, then those people obviously they all deserve to go down. It's bad
Oh my
because
God. Yes. The
I mean, it's
trafficking,
the
that's the thing.
trafficking, and I am so afraid of the drugs and the drinks now, like the whole drugging of drinks and putting things in drinks. That never happened to me. I mean, first of all, I was very I was the person, if I left my drink, I would not drink it when I came back. And that was years before people
Good.
could.
How smart are you? Yeah.
That was years before, I
Yeah.
mean, I had a friend that left his drink and then we were just drinking Cokes. That's, I mean, it's
Yeah.
really done. And he got really sick. I got to my house and
Mm.
he turned red, but they used to put murine drops in drinks. That was like a big thing. Can make you very ill, but
Oh
not
yeah, it does. I got roofied when I was in my early 20s in Argentina.
really.
Yeah. And because I was so healthy, because I was, a competitive swimmer, and ate healthy and stuff, I threw everything up. So part of
That's
that, yeah, I had it's almost like I was semi unconscious. They said I did stuff that I didn't even remember. So kind of like, I don't know what it was. And then I threw
it's
up, and the guy that roofied me was like, "You gross." Good. Because I threw up. Like I threw up, and my body was like throwing up stuff that
thank
I didn't even
God.
have anymore.
Thank
Like,
God.
oh yeah, thank God. My body like rejects anything that's not good for it.
That's
It
so
just,
good.
yeah.
That's so good. No, it's so scary. I
Yes.
mean, it's really, I tell my husband that I'm like, I need to see who's making my drink. I
Yeah.
mean, not, it's like, hopefully at restaurants, it's not like that, but I mean, it's a pretty scary world out there, but especially if you're dating and you look one way and somebody drops something in your drink.
I'm not dating anymore. Remember the pant dropper? The guy that dropped his pants?
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my
It's
gosh.
like I can't with these men. It's like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Drop his pants and ask me to touch it. I was like, first of all, if I had that kind of junk, I would not flaunt it. Okay. It's not cute. And then it's like, don't you, I was like, get the no, no,
The
no, no.
pants dropper. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
No, it was I was in such shock. I couldn't believe
Well, I
that he
think
was
that's
doing.
what it is. Some of these things are just so shocking. You're
Yeah,
like,
it's shocking.
why would you think I would want that?
I why are you showing me that? It's
Why?
like this is
What?
our first date. What the hell? What is
I mean, is that
wrong
a
with
turn on?
you?
Is that supposed to turn me on? I
Oh
mean,
hell no, no, no. A friend of mine was like, you should have just but I'm like, I don't have the heart to do that.
I know, I know, I know. You just got to run,
Yeah,
man.
that's what I do.
Yeah,
I run real fast.
it's different. I guess you can meet people now, but we would. I'm talking about back in the day when
Back
you'd
in
wait
the
for
day, I
guys
know.
to pick you up and take you out near
Oh
the end of my
no.
life. No, but it's funny when I started, after I finally broke up with the guy I'd been with forever in LA and I started dating, I started meeting people late
Yeah.
in my later years out because at least you can get the hell out. But before that, I mean, years I mean, I never had it. Actually, none of them. I didn't have any bad dating experience because they were
When they
so
pick you
they
up.
were so vetted.
Yes.
They
But
had
no,
to talk.
nowadays I don't want anybody to know where I live because I had a couple of stalkers and I'm like, I'm not, and it's scary.
Absolutely.
It's very scary. And one of them, I remember, waited for me in I used to park my car where I lived next to
Yeah.
Bridget, like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so in the alley, right? So I
Great
get
area.
home and I see this floral thing, like big flowers, like 2 dozen roses. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And it's this guy, right, who was stalking me. And so I go in, I get out the next day, I go to my car, and he left a
Oh.
card. So he had watched me get out of the car.
Oh. Oh.
And so I called him and I said, you need to stop doing this. And he said, oh, isn't it romantic? I waited for you for 7 hours.
Oh no, that's crazy. That's not
I know.
romantic.
I know. I was like, that's not romantic. That's creepy. And I'm going to call the cops if you do that again. And
Yeah,
he, a couple of times he went to my shows,
that's
but
scary.
very scary. Yeah. But
And that's
he,
another thing female comics have too.
yes.
I had a I had a fan. He was off of Up All Night, but he's he sent me a lot of stuff, but he sent me a gun. I know that's very weird, but
That is, you have to say pew pew because this is YouTube and like they're very like particular about the language. So yeah, so he
okay.
gave you a pew pew pew
He
pew.
gave me a pew pew, and I had it checked out because I didn't know if it was a hot pew pew. Somebody maybe.
Oh,
So I didn't know. It was very weird. So, and he sent me a lot of other, but it was supposedly to protect me from other crazy fans. And then sent me a lot of gifts, stuff, and you could not send a pew pew back through the mail. So anyway, I had a friend who was with the FBI. His brother was with the FBI, and he checked it out. But anyway, it was just all so very weird that I mean, he showed up at a show. Actually showed up at a show after I was married with Van, and I kept asking. This was at the Suncoast in Las Vegas, and I was really afraid. I was really afraid to go on stage, and we asked for more security, and they said, well, we can't. This is before things were as crazy as they are now,
yeah.
I mean, even before that, airports were as crazy as they are now. I mean, it was more after 9/11 that things started that really shut down, but this was before 9/11. And so Van sat next to him the whole show, and he had this big bag with him, this big bag, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I mean, I'm from the stage, I'm so scared, and I'm like, trying to not think about it. But and so after the show, what does he pull out? A teddy bear.
No, but you never know.
But you know what was really interesting? This guy kind of started me, was like, would send me these letters and blah, blah, blah. And I love you, blah, blah, blah. But after he saw me live, I never heard from him again. And it was either that my show was really bad, or I think I broke that wall,
The fourth wall and the fantasy. I think that's the key. It's the
the
fantasy.
fantasy. So
One
the
thing each
fantasy,
person is different.
it's
I totally
different,
get it. Yes,
totally different. Never stalked me
that's
again.
amazing.
But I mean, I mean, I got scary mail through the years,
Yeah,
with threats. It's scary because you don't know if someone means it or not.
absolutely. No, it's very scary to be a public person. It's very, very scary.
It is. I mean, you've heard some of the things that have happened with people, but yeah, that
Yes.
one was kind of scary. But I didn't know what he had in that bag, but it was just a big teddy bear. I never saw him again.
Thank God.
Yeah, no, I mean, but it's definitely been a great ride, as it is for you. I mean, you continue on, and I don't know, I still have another chapter in me. I'm not sure what it
You
is.
definitely do. Like I said, you're never going to retire. I don't see that happening. And do you feel like you in your life or now have reached that state of grace, that ideal state of being that you're like, this is what I wanted. This is just,
Yeah,
I have peace, I have joy, I have like love, I have everything I want.
I do. I do feel. Even though, it's funny, the transition, leaving this house, this is my Barbie dream house, really. This
Oh,
house is everything I ever worked for. It's 10,000 square feet.
wow.
It's huge. When I walked in here 15 years ago, it was like, oh my gosh, it's like it's all and I've had a blast decorating it. I had a blast. Just so I'm sad because we're transitioning to a
Mhm.
smaller house. But, I mean, I'm not going to say I feel age, but my husband, he feels the pressure of taking care of a house this large.
Right,
Also, it's very expensive. Our insurance in Florida, is crazy. We've been through hurricanes. So,
right.
as you know, in New Orleans. So, I just can't do it anymore. I can't take care of it. The house was built in 95. The house that we're building a new house. He says, we're going to build a new house. So yeah, it's like I feel really good. We have this other home in North Carolina, which I love. For some reason, it's mountains. I'm not a mountain girl, but for some reason, when I'm there,
Yeah,
I'm the happiest human on the planet. And I'm like, I've never been a country girl, and yet up there, it's like, I don't know what this is. I'm so happy.
that
So
is
yes,
amazing because you're in nature. It's like
it's
there's
in
a different vibe.
nature.
Yeah,
It's so different. So I am happy, and I am peaceful. I just feel like I'm not done. But maybe there's
yeah,
people like Woody. I'm going to now compare myself with Woody Allen. No, I'm not comparing myself with Woody Allen, but Woody Allen's, and there's people like that who just keep working, and
yeah,
they love working, and they love. I think if you're artistic and you're artsy, then you just love
yeah,
contributing, and at some point, God willing, you can do it as long as you can.
yep.
And that's where I feel like I am. Like I do feel peaceful. I don't
Yes.
feel like a lot of through the years, a lot of my female comic friends have said, why don't you get up and do stand up again? I don't know if you know Helen Keeney. She's a host at HSN. She headlines. I don't know how she does both, but she headlines and travels and hosts. And God bless her, she's great. She's
Crazy.
really really talented girl. Um, your age or
Yeah,
around your age, and but she keeps going, and I'm like, God bless you. I mean, that's young. I mean, it is young, but I guess when I started this business, my husband and I didn't have the drive to write anymore, and you have to constantly write, I feel, to do stand up.
absolutely.
I didn't have, I shouldn't say the drive, that's not wrong, the hunger. I didn't have the hunger,
Right,
because
right.
you're really hungry and you're writing and you're writing. I mean, when I have to, I can still write, and I like it, but I didn't have that. So I felt like once you lost that, then it's just different. You have to be hungry to continue writing comedy.
You
Um,
have to have the passion also to do
yeah,
it.
you have to be the
And
passion. I
and
just
just
like
remember,
naturally being funny. I like getting up
yeah,
and making people laugh, but
yeah,
I don't have I think it's a discipline. I don't have the
yes.
discipline. That's probably the word I was looking for earlier in the podcast. The discipline to do not so much OCD, but not confusing those two things. Or I am OCD about certain things like being neat, but it's the discipline and the attention span. I think I don't have as much as I did back in the day. And I think that just goes with life and
Mhm.
experience and settling in. And I do feel settled and I do feel good. And I have 4 dogs with me right now, and
Oh,
they're fabulous and they make me really happy, the babies. And no, so I am in a good place. I
that's
think that I
amazing.
am in that state of grace.
Good.
But I do, like to continue to just whatever that work is. And maybe it'll be the studio that I'll enjoy sticking my head in, or maybe every now and then, doing an Up All Night episode, or continuing on HSN and selling my beautiful products. So it's a little bit of everything. I'm lucky now that I have a gal that goes on air for me at HSN some of the time, so I'm able to take some time off. HSN would like me to be on more. I'm like, come on, guys, I've been doing this 22 years and it's live TV. I need somebody to take my place every now and then.
Yes,
And
absolutely. It's a
it's
lot.
just, it's a lot. And
Yeah.
then it's all live hours. And some of the hours, they're not as crazy. They go to tape from midnight till 6, I think now, or to 7, but no, not midnight, 2 to 7. But I mean, still, like, it's just harder when you've been doing it for the hours I've banked on HSN live TV. I couldn't even count through the years.
That's
It's
insane.
insane.
Yeah.
It's
And
insane.
our passions and our challenge, it's
They
not just the
change.
passion, they change. And also the challenge. I feel like you're the same way I am. Like I am challenged by something. I achieve as much as I wanted
Yes.
to achieve, or as I went as far as I can go. And then I'm like, next.
And yet, yes, but I have seen you change, because that wasn't
Yeah.
Grace, when I first met you. And
Yes,
I get it. And it's partially it's growing up. It's
absolutely.
growing up. It's also knowing your priorities, going through what you've gone through in your life, also going through, losing parents, losing different
Yes.
people in your life. Van and I just lost a really dear friend, and I mean,
Oh, I'm so
we
sorry.
knew he was ill. Thank you, but I mean, but when it becomes reality, it just hits you in the face. So
Oh,
this is all
absolutely.
part of life.
Yes.
And it's all part of growing up, although I will always feel highly immature. But I do think yeah, I think I've definitely hit the place that you talk about. Although I can still be pissed off at Henry Winkler because it still
I
irritates.
can. Well, you're a Scorpio. You don't let go, right? It's like revenge is mine, and until I have revenge, I won't stop. I
Oh
know.
darn! I would just wish he had one more happy days I could fire him off of.
I
But
am mad now at him. I
no,
want him to
I
justice.
I'm not vindictive like that. I'm really not. I'm really
I'm
sweet.
joking.
If anything, I'm too sweet.
I
I
know you
wasn't
are
I
too
wasn't.
nice. You
Yeah.
are too nice. I mean, that was not right. That would I would have said something like
Well,
probably
you know what?
afterwards.
If I could be my age now and have that, well, they say what youth is wasted on the young. It's
Yeah.
true,
Yes.
because yeah, if he said that to me now, what would come
Oh.
out of my mouth would be very different. But you're a little girl and you're
Yeah.
like, you're new in town and all of it's exciting, and
Oh.
but yeah, but you also said something earlier too, like, you know, there's so many ways you can go in life, right? You could have
Yeah.
stayed in New Orleans. I could have stayed in New Orleans.
Right.
I could have stayed in New Orleans and run for office. Mary Morial became a senator. And she told me, she goes, you beat me to it. I mean, years ago. I mean, I don't know her anymore, but back then when we were both the same age, I mean, knew each other. But, she was the first senator a female senator from Louisiana. And I could have stayed in that, but I followed my heart and I followed these
Yes.
paths. My
Yes.
mother always wanted me to marry literally a prince, or if she, no,
No.
she would have wanted me to marry. I mean, my mother wanted me to be like New York society or LA society,
Oh.
something, but she really pressured that on me. I mean, like when I think back, I think she really did. I mean, she put
Yeah.
like she liked showbiz, but she wanted me to never, because back then women were taken care of by men.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
married. I mean, for her, it was always about marriage, and I was a virgin forever. But she wanted a husband to take care of me and me to live
Yeah.
this high life. And I ended up marrying literally my junior high school boyfriend. And when we got married, we had no money, and then we started from below zero. So I did the opposite, and he had two kids. So everything she did not want for me, I did, and yet I did have the chances in LA to be with some guys that were, you know, that did very well. I don't know if I didn't have the confidence in myself at the time, or I didn't feel like I could live up to I don't know why, but uh, Brigitte used to always say something that I actually like. She would say, I couldn't picture myself in their house. And then I started thinking, yeah, I'd go over to this guy's house. I'm like, I couldn't picture myself in this lifestyle. And yet
Yeah.
when I met Van, it felt like an old shoe. And I guess at the end of the day,
Oh,
I'm an old shoe. I'm a down to earth. No, I am. I'm a down to earth person. People always say to me, "You're so nice. Like what you
yes,
could have
you are.
you could have been this, you could have been that." I'm like, but I just followed career paths that I wanted to do. I don't know why I'd be any different because I've been on TV or anything else. Like, but people are always amazed. So I'm just this really down to earth person.
You are very, and
And I like my down to earth life, and I
yes,
like my down to earth sitting on the floor with the dogs and doing whatever we do. And then I like being able to go out and, doll up too. But
yeah.
I'm never going to be a snob. It's just not in me.
Oh,
I love helping people is probably my favorite thing to do. And
I love
women,
that. I love
women in
that about you.
particular. It's
Yes,
been,
you do. You're a woman's woman for sure.
it's funny because your ex fiance's wife.
Yes, yes, yes. Your sister. Yes,
My sister is so funny because well, I won't tell her age, but she's got a boyfriend now,
yes,
and he's much older. And when she lost the man she was with Ronnie for 40 years. She never married the second boyfriend in her life. And when she lost him, I I thought, well, man, now you could do like all these chip things, like you can whatever women do together, I mean,
yeah.
I have friends. I don't know. I'm not a lady that lunches, but I have girlfriends. But she goes, I can't stand women. I hate women. I can't. I only like men. And I thought, well, wow, you're such. When she lost him, I'm like, you're at this certain age. I don't. To myself, I was thinking, how are you going to find someone? And darn, she went on
Oh,
one of
yeah,
those
she will if she
older.
wants to. Yeah, yeah.
She went on one of those older sites, like silver sneakers, maybe so silver it's blue. And she's had a boyfriend now for 5 years.
I
And they are so cute. I just saw them in New Orleans. I'm like,
that's
and
so
they're both
funny.
so good for each other. So, but she really does not like, she doesn't have any girlfriends, has never, maybe when she was really young, had girlfriends, only like the
Wow.
company of men. But there are women like that. And I think that you need women in your life. That's my feeling.
Oh my God. I crave that feminine energy
Yeah,
because I know what they're going through. They know what I'm going through.
right.
I have a good mix of men and women in my life.
Right. Yeah. Me
I
too.
do
Me
have guy
too.
friends too, because you also need those guy friends.
You absolutely do.
Yeah.
You absolutely need guy friends. Can't have as many guy friends unless my gay friends are my best gay friend.
Oh,
But
the
they've
best.
always been my best friends
Yeah.
anyway. But because I don't think my husband would like me going. He's just. But I do have there's guys out there.
Yes. Yes.
But but I think women they do support each other, and I've seen friends either lose or divorce or whatever, and they have those girlfriends that are by their side, and I think that's really special. You need that support. My sister had Brigitte, my niece,
Right.
but not everybody's got a family member that will be that attached.
That yes, that attached and that there for you.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So attached that Brigitte will never get married. Nona will beat her to the
I
altar.
can't no. I feel at
Oh,
this point in my life, like I really want to be by myself and be independent,
that's
and
the best thing. I'm
that's the
telling
best
you,
thing. Yeah.
I think because you can date, you cannot date, you can have fun, you can go out. There's nobody
Yeah.
telling you what to do.
Nope.
And I told my husband, I said, God forbid, I hope we all both go together. But if we don't, That's it. I know
Oh yeah.
you'll have a girlfriend in a week because men can't be alone.
Oh, yeah, I know. I know.
They
They
can't be
can't.
alone.
No,
And
they
he'll
can't.
have a girlfriend. I mean, all these
Yeah.
women buzz around him as it is. You know, North Carolina, boys, he's very popular in North Carolina.
No.
But yeah, I wouldn't want to do. No, I'm fine on my own
Yeah,
with my babies. I should
totally. 100%.
have to
My
get this.
mom was like, your mom. Oh no. Oh my God, too cute.
She's
Oh,
so small. Look how small she is. She's
what's
little
her
Molly.
name? Molly.
Molly's a little
Molly.
chihuahua. I woke you up. I'm so
Oh,
sorry. I woke you up. I'm so
she's
sorry.
a little camera shy.
There's two more right here
Oh my
sleeping,
God, they're
and
so
one
cute.
and one downstairs with Daddy.
Oh no.
She's in love with Van. I have a dog
No.
that stares at my husband. I get a little worried. She stares at him. She waits for
No.
me to go to sleep, but she also wait if he's downstairs. I'm upstairs right now. If he's downstairs, she will wait for him to come up. It's very cute.
I
Dogs
can't.
are
That's so
funny. They're
cute.
very funny. These guys are attached to me though. These guys,
I
these,
know.
these other three.
Yes. I don't the see attached. You say the word attached. I feel like I don't want to be attached to anything or anybody, and I don't want them to be attached to
I
me.
get it. I
You
get
know,
it.
it feels like just I feel like I'm drowning if when somebody attaches themselves to me. If I found somebody that's super healthy emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, and even physically, great. But the older we get, the less you're gonna find that.
Oh my gosh, you're beautiful, and there's no. It is different today.
Yeah.
It's very different in terms of dating. You can find someone at an age if you're looking, and here's the good part: the fact that I was saying that I have an agent and everything. There's roles now for women, and it actually has my age in it. Like
Yes.
the role I read for was my age that they were looking for, and
No,
I think
they do
that's
have. Yeah.
they didn't have it. When I left LA at the tender age of like 42 or whatever it was, I thought I was done.
Yes.
Because I still hadn't gotten out of the Up All Night. I was going out on auditions, but people had in their head the character. I definitely would have grown out of that where people would have started seeing me for other things because you just age out, eventually. But now look at J Lo and Nicole Kidman. All these gals are like
Yeah.
they're up there. I'm not up. They're not old, but I'm saying for my age when I left LA, if you were 40, you were beyond done. I
You are
mean,
like to completely done. Yes.
and I
Absolutely.
was, still shooting Up All Night till 41. But it's really interesting that, yeah, it's a different world now. I mean, and I think it's all this whole Me Too thing, and that you don't have to be these perfect, this perfect image of whatever a woman was back when I was, in LA. I mean, it really
Yeah.
was this perfect body image that I think things have at least loosened up and changed for the better. I mean, the characters on TV are so much more interesting. The looks are so much more
Yes, because
interesting.
it's more like real and raw, and before it was so canned.
It's
Like there's
so
a
canned.
type for this. You got to look this way. You got to talk
Right.
this way. You got to be and they kind of typecast people, and now I feel like it's
Totally.
so much more open that it's
It
just
is. They
playful.
they definitely was. I actually, and I feel like I don't know what's going on in LA or where, but I find that acting is really good today. I mean, I
Yes.
find it more real than when I was out there. And some of the shows like Fall Guy and Three's Company. I mean, I don't mean the sitcoms, but some of the hour shows were they seem. I mean, they're corny by today's standards, and I don't mean the corniness of the show, but I mean the acting today is really. Sometimes I watch these shows and I'm like blown away by the acting, and I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know what they're studying or what techniques. I mean, I've gotten away from it. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't study anything. I just audition and do my own thing.
Yeah, the same here. But like I think it's more naturalistic now. And so
Yes.
that's why it feels more real. And yeah, I prefer that, the
I do
naturalistic
too.
style. Yeah.
No, I mean, even the looks on the shows, I mean, the leads are not necessarily the pretty ones,
Perfect. Right.
Yeah.
No, we don't want that anymore because that's not real life. That doesn't
No,
reflect real
no,
life.
no. And that's why I think people are so into TikTok and Instagram and when people make their own videos and why I can sit there and scroll Instagram or their a lot of people post on both of them. And I'm so entertained because they're real people doing amazing things, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, some really talented people, and they can put it out there, and just people just having fun. I mean, I'll watch some of the. I was a dancer. I started as a dancer. You know, I was a dance school kid, so dance class. But so I watched some of the dancing on YouTube or some of the. I'm like blown away. I just feel like everyone's like maybe in better shape now, or more physical, or healthier now. But it's even athletes. They're really great. It's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, I think so. So I am trying to get a hold of the engineer. I don't know what happened. This never happened before because there's a comment. I'm going to read it from
Okay.
Blue Horseshoe. I think if you enjoy your work and it is rewarding and you don't feel excessive stress from it, keep doing it as long as you want to. The world needs creative people. I love that.
So true. It's so true. Yeah, absolutely. The world does need creative people, and I think you like to entertain, and I like to
Yes.
entertain. And even if it's entertaining on HSN, and I'm informing people on how to buy a bra, then I love doing that, and it's information, you know. But yeah, I think there's as long as I have something to give that's worthwhile, I'm going to keep doing it.
Right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. And when I went through the cancer thing, I was like, I still like I would be okay if I didn't make it because I was stage 3.
Wow, I
There's
didn't
only 4
know.
stages. Yeah.
Oh
And
my
so
gosh.
yeah,
Oh
girl.
my.
So I was like, if I don't make it, I lived my life the way I always wanted to live my life. So I'm okay if I don't make it. If I
Wow.
make it, I have so much more to give, you know,
Absolutely.
and
I know that changes your perspective
oh, 100%.
greatly.
Like for everything.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I have friends that have gone through different illnesses and cancer, and it comes out, I mean, they come out on the other side a whole new, a different person.
A whole it you appreciate life so much, time, energy, people, who you
Right.
want to surround yourself with.
Right. You don't
How
need no time for negativity, no
nah,
time.
no, no, no time
Yeah,
for
no,
that.
yeah, there's just no time.
Yeah.
It's much better to be, you know, I tell my husband, I mean, yeah, you go through life, everyday life things, and you're, you know, pissed at this, or someone driver's doing something, he gets upset. I'm like, you know what? These are such little things. They're such little things, you know. There's such bigger fish to fry, and staying healthy, you know, staying healthy, as you said, that's everything. And
Yeah.
I'm more cognizant right now. I've really gotten myself, you know, losing a little weight, and working out a little bit more, and eating really well now. Uh,
Good, good. Yeah,
and it's just
eating is
stuff you have to
important.
do. You have
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
I don't drink. I'll have a glass of wine every now and then. I just don't care
yeah,
about it then. I think I did it enough in my 30s and 40s and 50s that I got it all out of
same.
me.
Yeah, and also like alcohol increases the chances of cancer reoccurrence by like 40%. So I'm like, girl, no. I
Oh,
have not
wow.
touched alcohol in like 3 years, only like 2 glasses of wine all of
Yeah.
3 years. I'm
Yeah.
like, I ain't touching it.
No,
Uh-uh.
absolutely. No, no.
No.
Yeah. And they're coming out with more studies about that, that it's bad. It's funny. It's
Yes,
like you would think it's bad, but yeah, now there's like a
it's
lot more
really
studies
bad
on it.
because it has ethanol and that's a poison to the body.
Yeah.
So it's not worth it. To me, it's not worth it.
No,
I've
no.
never,
It's
been,
a quick buzz. I get buzzed off of eat. Like we went out earlier when I found realized we were on a little bit later. We went out, and I hardly ever eat steak, but I wanted steak, and I was like, I
uh,
get high off a steck.
yes, I know what you mean. I became like Whole Foods plant-based, so I haven't had
Oh,
meat in 3 years.
oh, well, good for you. That's great.
Three
And
and
I
a
know
half.
I know that's really a healthy way to go.
Yeah, it is. You have to watch certain things like B12, vitamin B12. So I do like nutritional yeast that has B12 in it. So I put it in a lot of foods and I do take vitamins in case, but you
That's
have to
great.
watch certain things. But I'm telling you, I feel so much lighter, not physically only, but like in general, like it's spiritually also. I feel like
No,
more
I know.
free.
I mean, I know. I mean, I know so many athletes. I don't. I've been eating more protein lately. I was doing more vegetables because I've on a diet, or I, you know, I'm on a more protein, and I have lost like around 20 pounds. So I don't know if I'll
Nice.
stay. I mean, and so it's more so. it is protein heavy, but
Good.
I don't eat meat though. I mean, usually I
Yeah.
could, and I actually think, and it's also coming from New Orleans, I could easily be a pescatarian. I'm not sure if I could completely be a vegetarian, but I love my fish.
Pescatarian is better
I
than
love
red
fish.
meat is actually it just puts you at risk for colon cancer. But I'm talking if
Oh
like
yeah.
if you eat every
Oh
day, that's
no.
a whole
No,
different
I
ballgame.
haven't had, as a matter of fact, I haven't had a steak, a little filet, a small one.
It makes me
I can't
hungry.
even tell you when the last time, like, I can't even tell
That's
you.
fine. That's
Maybe,
totally like
yeah,
one.
maybe 6 months ago or
Oh,
something.
that's
No, I
nothing.
don't. I actually don't even crave that. I'm from New Orleans. I crave my shrimp and
Oh my God.
my fish, my trout. You know, but and every now and then a chicken. But I'm not even a chicken girl as much as I'm truly a seafood
Yeah.
girl and vegetables. So it's that New Orleans girl. Look, I went home and they're probably not good for you either. But I had a whole bunch of raw oysters. Boy, they were good.
Oh no, I don't like seafood in general.
Oh my
I don't
gosh,
know
you
why.
lived
I
in New
know I'm so
Orleans.
weird. I know. I don't like it. And so because I was thinking about becoming pescatarian, I was like, okay, I'll eliminate like the meats that put you more at cancer risk.
Right.
That's a reoccurrence. And I was like, I tried like, the salmon, but the wild caught, like everything. I was like, it's so fishy. I don't like
I
it.
know I have friends that feel exactly the same way. I have
Yeah,
a really good male friend. He's like, fishy. I'm like, it's not a fishy fish. It's fishy. I'm
it's
like, okay, it's
fishy.
in your head. But then yeah, he'll eat the same thing if it has either cheese or a lot of butter on it. Um, but and that's what I've given up too, is like, a lot of the sauces and things. My husband and I do not eat what we call heavy anymore. Like, those New Orleans heavier dishes. And I mean, I can cook them, but we don't eat them. We eat very light, not a lot of, just like if we're going to do a broiled piece of fish or a broiled,
Yeah.
baked chicken, like there's not a lot of stuff on it. I can't do it anymore. I guess I've gotten my body off of that too, of eating healthier.
Yeah,
And
it's whatever.
I feel better.
Absolutely. It's whatever works for you. And also different blood types require
Right.
different things. Like my blood type, it's better for me to be vegetarian or vegan,
That's
because
right.
yeah, and for some people actually it's not good. So everybody is different.
It
I
is.
feel
It's true. And but boy, like these athletes, like Tom Brady, when he was here and we won the Super Bowl only because he's so cute. Anyway,
it is very cute. Yeah.
he's so cute. But I know he's on a very strict. I don't know if it's vegan, but it's definitely vegetarian diet.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. I mean, the people that can do it, it's do it. I have a bad tummy, so when I have
Ooh,
too many vegetables, it just goes.
it's too
So
much. I know. I have problems being vegan. It's challenging. I eat a lot of rice because there's so much
love rice.
fiber. Yeah, I eat lots every day, at
I love
least every
rice.
once. Yeah, I love rice with jasmine rice, and I put
I
all
love
kinds of
rice.
stuff in it. Oh my God, I love it.
No, I love rice.
Me
That's
too.
also
Me
part
too.
of a New Orleans girl,
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I eat rice, but because if not, the fiber is so much that
Right.
you just like it's impossible to live like this. You
Yes,
just
I
gotta,
know. I mean, I know they tell you beans, and I'm like, I just couldn't do it. My tummy I'd be bloated. I would
yeah.
look pregnant all the time. But
It's not
but yeah,
cute.
so but I have been very cognizant. I'm working with a dietitian, so
Nice, nice.
it is nice. It's learning more about shakes and things like that I never did before, and more things I just never did it. So you do change. Life changes you, and you're all of a sudden you go, hey. I abuse this body enough through life doing,
Yes.
I mean, Van and I actually, most of my drinking, partying, and eating came after Van because we both started cooking together and having and entertaining a lot. So I
Yes.
wasn't really a drinker. And then we got into martinis, and now neither one of us. But
Yeah.
with those years, we had some good years cooking and just playing. And
I
then I
love that.
definitely
That's
gained
fun.
weight. I was definitely, not the same size I was in LA, but that was you know what? I wouldn't change that either. It was
Yeah.
just really fun part of my life too,
Yeah.
because in LA I was so stringent on being a certain weight, certain diet, and then it was fun to be married and entertaining and having parties and cooking. So all of it is just it was the path that I ended up on and I like it. It was
Yes.
it's eclectic, but that's who I am too.
Absolutely. And every season is different in our lives.
That's true.
So that's actually to me that's the fun part
It is
because
fun.
Yeah, because now I'm different than I was 20 years ago. And so I get to do different things to be a different person. I'm the
Yes.
same essence, of a
Oh,
person,
right.
but
Of
like,
course.
just different. Even the hair color. I'm excited that this is my real color, by the
I
way.
love it. I love it. And I've got, look, I don't know if you can see, but I've got a little purple in my hair.
I love that. That's my favorite
Mahogany.
color.
A little mahogany. Yeah, I just want to, I was like, I hope HSN, I was like, I didn't, then I kind of got into it. I'm like, all these young girls to do all these fun colors. So just put a few couple of streaks in just for fun. It
Yeah.
is fun. It is fun to change up that stuff. And we can do that,
Yes.
absolutely.
I have a pink wig. I got
Oh,
into
yeah.
wigs after,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
after my chemo stuff, and I love
Oh,
it. And
wigs are a blast. Oh, they're a
they're
blast.
so fun.
Well,
And
I
then,
got into them during COVID. I had to because I had extensions in my hair during COVID. I mean,
oh,
before COVID, I had all. As
yeah,
a matter of fact, my hair is so long. I can't believe that my hair, knock wood, is as healthy as it is right now.
good.
And I just let it grow after COVID. I took out all the extensions, but then it was like so bad that I was wearing all these great wigs that they have nowadays. So that was fun. And then, I just let my hair grow and it's like super long. And I'm like, most people at my age, they cut their hair and it's like, I know you probably can't see it, but it's
It's
almost down to
beautiful.
my butt.
It's beautiful. I want to
It's
let it
fun.
grow again to like long. I
Yes.
don't care how old I'm going to
I
be.
don't care it either.
I don't
I don't
care.
think
I
there's.
really
I
don't.
love someone like Cher. Cher's always done her own thing, her own hair color. It's like there's. I used to have this hairdresser, and he'd always say, "You're 40. Your hair needs to be short." I'm like, "You're crazy." There's
What?
no rules. There's no rules, and that's what I like about some of the young girls. We like this young, Lizzo and these girls. They do their own thing, and what they as long as they're healthy, but they're proud. They're not, they don't have the body. Oh my gosh, I just have this little inch here. I can't show my arms.
Who
They're
cares
definitely
anymore?
different now. It's a definitely different world, and I think the young people have brought that around too.
I love that. And I love them for that. It started with millennials.
It
And
did.
now, yeah, it started with them. And I love them for that because, on OnlyFans, that's was part of my message, body positivity. No matter how you look like, you can put on lingerie and feel sexy and look good.
So
And
true. It's so
absolutely.
true. I mean,
Yeah.
that's part of my whole thing with my line: beauty at all shapes, all ages, all shapes, all sizes, all ages. Doesn't matter, beauty comes in all sizes.
Absolutely.
But it's true. Like we put, and certainly my age group, and then my mom and father back
Oh
in the
my
day,
God.
they were
Yeah.
really they were tough. I mean, my cousins and I talk about her parents saying my first cousin the same way. I mean, if you gained weight, your parents would let it. They couldn't. They weren't like today's parents. I mean,
Not
they
at
would just
all.
come
My
out.
girl,
Oh,
my mom would be like, when she came to visit, like to LA or New Orleans, she would be like, Graciela, I don't want to tell you, but your ass is so big, but I don't want to tell you. So you just told me.
my father told me, and I think back when I was in college, and I lived at home with my parents because I had a boyfriend, and when I went to Loyola, that's why one of the reasons I didn't go out of town to go to college. But anyway, I remember being home for school. I mean, just home from class, and I was standing in front of the refrigerator, and my dad goes, "Your butt's as wide as a refrigerator," and I was 115 pounds then.
Oh no. I know. See, that drives me crazy. When I was in my 20s, same thing. Oh, you're like fat. You're this. And I look at pictures now. Oh my God, I was so hot. What are
I
you
know
talking
they
about?
were. I don't. I mean, it's crazy. They were very tiny. People were tinier
I
back then.
know. I
I know.
know.
It's like I kid. My mother was brutal. My mother was brutal. So was my
Ay, ay,
dad.
ay.
My dad was brutal too. My
Yeah, my
dad was
dad's the same.
brutal
Yeah. Yeah.
to Brigitte. I mean, Brigitte always
Oh.
kids that he used to see her. She would be eating cereal. He said, horses eat cereal, cows eat cereal. I mean, just brutal. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so wrong.
Parents, they're. I think it's good to keep your kids healthy and keep them on the right
Yeah, but
track and
there are
not,
ways and ways of saying it, Rhonda,
there's a
right?
way of saying it,
Yeah.
like, there's it's definitely a way because it really, when I finally got married and I was on my own, And then my mom wasn't here. I said, I think that's why I went a little wild. I mean, not wild with men, but wild eating and drinking,
Right.
because now I didn't have anyone telling me, no, don't get out.
Yes.
And we were having fun. We were
Yes.
basically making up for lost time that we didn't have as kids. But now, both of us, I swear, we cooked so much during COVID. We have been anti cooking, but we both said when we get into our new house in February, we're going to cook half the time there because it's just healthier to cook at home,
Yes.
because we go out to eat a lot, and trying to stay on a diet going out is really hard.
It's hard to lose weight when, yeah, I do Uber Eats a lot. And I notice when I do Uber Eats, even with my little vegan food,
Oh yeah,
I gain weight. And when I cook myself, I don't gain, I lose weight.
I know. It doesn't matter because they're putting stuff in it that we wouldn't put in it. And no matter how healthy we think it is, it's just not the same.
The calories
So
add up, right? That's all it is.
yeah, I think it'll be fun. We have a new kitchen and new stuff, and I think we'll cook
Nice.
again. I think we'll cook light and easy. But he was looking at cabbage rolls on Facebook tonight, and he said, "This looks so good." I'm like, "Well, I used to make those for you." He goes, "I know, but it looks so good." I'm like, "Well, we can do that again. It's not the hardest thing in the world. We do it with turkey meat. It doesn't have to be with beef." But it'd be fun to cook again. I mean, it's been a
Oh, yeah.
long time since we've cooked, so I'm ready. Another chapter.
Yes, yes. I'm not a cook. I don't cook. I had to cook when I became whole foods plant-based because there's
Right,
not a lot of options, so I had to learn, but I kept it simple. I divide my
right,
pantry like legumes, beans and legumes, grains. I have
right,
like mason jars,
right.
right? Nuts and seeds, and then that's it. And I have
Yeah,
all of that, and then
right.
fruits and vegetables. And I learned how to mix everything so that I get all the nutrients that I need, the
From
macro
all of
and
it.
micro nutrients and the
Right.
vitamins, and the minerals and everything.
Yeah,
So
that's hard to do. I mean, that is hard. I would think harder to do on more vegetarian to get everything you need.
it's actually not that hard because like beans and legumes, you get tons of proteins,
You
tons,
do.
tons. And then I love my rice, which is not,
Yeah. No,
it's
me too.
empty
And I
calories.
like beans and rice. So there you go.
Me too. So I put beans, I put like kale sometimes and
Yeah.
shallot, and I mix it all, and it's
Oh,
delicious. Yeah.
yeah. See, look, you can. I'm telling you, cooking's not that hard. It's
It's
really
not
not.
hard at all. I
It's
know.
it's not hard. It's just, I think we're just lazy. And also I think Van was just over the kitchen here and over. I think so when we move into someplace new and I'm saying he'll because I hope he cooks too. He's a good cook. He's a really good cook.
That's amazing. Yes, a man
I
that
think
can
I
cook.
got it. I don't know if I did it with you, but I got into doing this. I was doing a show once a week where I was cooking. I mean, this was
Oh, I
like,
was about to go or something, and something happened. Yes.
yeah, we
I
talked
remember
about
I
that.
bought a little apron and a hat.
Yes, yes, yes. And I loved it. And I was doing great dishes, like really great dishes. So that may have to come back. The new kitchen that we're moving into is definitely suited for shooting. It's better for prepping and everything. So that could be fun. So
That's
don't throw
amazing.
don't throw away the apron. You may come back out.
I still have the hats and everything.
Mhm. That was fun. That was fun. That was kind of a fun thing. And then we just, you go through different phases in life where you just like you're doing this and then you just end up going this direction. But I'm
Absolutely. Like
so
now,
glad that you reached out to me to do this. I really am.
you. Thank you. This is fun. It is like we caught up. I hope everybody, I know they enjoyed it because
Aw.
they were commenting. I don't know what happened to my engineer. I swear to God, never in my life. I don't know what happened, where he is. And I've been texting him. I hope he's okay.
I know. Oh my goodness gracious.
I know. That is so weird. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna exit. See at the bottom where it says leave studio.
Yes.
We're gonna exit. We're gonna click that, and the show is probably gonna keep running and streaming until because he's got control of that. I have no control over that.
That is so funny.
I know, and I don't know what happened. This never happened, girl. And I
Well, you
private
get
chat him, and I didn't hear from him. I'm like, is he here? And then the comment. He always puts the comments up and everything, and the last comment he didn't put it up. I was like, something's wrong.
I have my friend I mean Jean does mine, so And you'll have to come down here and do,
Yes.
yep. So when we have the podcast studio, that would be so fun.
I would love that because I love to travel. So
Okay, yeah, you definitely. Well, you know what? I'd love to have you on when we reboot Up All Night. We're going to definitely have our little cast, and and what we'll do is we'll be able to have you on the set, but then we'll also be able to shoot you, like
virtually
stream you in too, because I'm going to have like this green screen, blue screen, like behind,
love. Yeah,
in the set, and we'll just have people entering and exiting that way. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be campy and just silly and fun,
I love
bringing
it.
back a little bit of the feeling from the show from yesteryear. We have I have some good young writers that grew up watching it who really have they totally they've got it. They've
That's
totally have it
awesome.
down.
They get it. They get the spirit of the show.
Yeah, so we're trying to launch like for Valentine's Day. So we'll have to have you on, even if I can't get you here, we'll have to get you virtually,
I
and that would be
have
fun.
a 4K camera that I can connect to my computer and stream with that 4K.
That's awesome. That's great. Okay. Well, we'll talk about that. And you remember, I mean, Gene remembers you because he
Yes,
was, so I will tell him that I have definitely, I've cast you and you're in, whether you like it or
I
not.
love it. Thank you. I love it. That
Yeah,
is
we'll have
so
fun.
fun.
We'll have fun. We really will.
Definitely. And there's another comment. I can't post it because I can't engineer it. It was great visiting you with you both, says Blue Horseshoe. Both tonight. Nice to meet you, Rhonda.
Thank you. Thank you, Blue Horseshoe. I like that name. It sounds like a good luck name.
I know he's great. He's great. I do like private parties on YouTube, and
Yeah.
he was on one of them. So it's like
Ah,
only $5 to get in, and it's like
I
a
love
private
that.
link. Super fun. I have
I
such
love
a
that
great time.
you've learned how to do all that. We're gonna have to talk to you about that.
We
That's really
definitely
cool.
have to talk because I was thinking you should actually do content creation on your YouTube. You can
That's what
build.
I, that's
You
what I
can
really
build
want to
them.
do. And
Yes,
there's something missing with that because
I can
we
help
actually,
you.
like for my Up All Night show that we're going to reboot, I have a film already. I have some films that I'm been okay to use. So I
Yes,
have the rights to them because the
great.
director, producer that wrote and directed these films is allowing me to do that. So we're finding more and more films. It's very cool what's going on with that. So um there's definitely we'll have to talk offline about
Well,
that.
definitely, I'll give you the tea.
All right, give me the tea, baby.
I give
Give
you
me
a
the
slurp
tea.
of tea. Yes,
Give me some tea. Give me some tea. Well,
definitely.
I guess we've talked a lot.
Girl, but no, it's just like we're gonna have to exit ourselves because we know
Oh,
nobody's gonna take us out.
oh my God. But wait, the comment just came up. Did your engineer come back?
Oh, I think so. Okay, yeah, he's back. Okay, okay, yeah. No, I read them already, dude. Are you okay? Can you tell us if you're okay? Are you okay? Because I know you were not here. I hope you're okay. I was worried about you, but I don't know. He's probably I don't know. But I'll talk to him and hopefully he's okay.
There's probably like Gene. He's probably fine. Probably, Gene
I
also
heard
has.
everything you said.
There you
Everything I
go.
said. Okay, good. I
Just
was worried.
now we're gonna quiz you on it after the show.
Yeah,
All
so I
right.
guess we're not doing the after party because we talked so long and it was so fun.
Yes, it
Um,
was fun. Thank you.
yes, we were
Thank you.
overdue for a catch up, and we did it here on live on YouTube.
And I thank you. And I love State of Grace. It's great. And then
Thank
we do a
you.
lot of things. Well, you'll see. We're going to be doing it live as well. So
Amazing.
I think it's awesome. I'm really, really excited about it. So you're
Thank
part of
you.
it.
Thank you. Yay! Amazing. And we should do if you have characters, we should do like our characters. We should do a live with our characters.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
we
would be fun.
definitely. Yeah. And if you have any characters that you want to bring to Up All Night, that would be great.
Oh, 100%. We have the award-winning mockumentary, The Tias, and I'm Consuelo. It's my mom rechanneled.
Okay, then you have to do that. You have to do
Yes.
Consuelos.
And then I have Bill. Bill and love. She talks about love.
I love that.
I know my southern accent is not the best, but
No, I love that. That's great. I love characters. And then when I get into
me
mine,
too. Girl,
they're
me
great.
too. I'm about to tape one called Psychic Patty, and what she does is she does these predictions and they never come to pass. It's the opposite. And so the clients call her and she's like, Well, you did it wrong. That's why that didn't come to pass because you messed
Psychic
up.
Patty could be good for up all night.
Yes.
Psychic Patty could be really good
Yes.
because I mean, because we have the interaction and then having, her, that could be a really good character. She's too
Predict
hard.
stuff, what's going to happen in the movie or
And it
whatever.
doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. That's awesome. I
I
like
know,
Psychic Patty.
girl. And then I have another one called Maurice, the French ladies man.
Oh, the French ladies man. I
Girl,
love
I
it.
bought a belly, I bought a French mustache, a mullet, and a beret.
Oh, I love that. Oh,
Oh,
Belle is
Belle
my
is my
favorite.
favorite. Oh, thank you, Beal. Oh, Beal. She thinks she's like super self-righteous and she does these awful things. And then
No,
the
characters
Southern
are the best.
accent, she's so sweet. You know how Southern people are like so sweet and they tell you the shittiest thing with like the
Yeah.
sweetest accent. You're like, wait, did you just call me fat? What was
I
that?
love that. Belle.
Yeah,
Belle's a great name too.
Beal.
I
Yeah.
have one. I have one called Beverly Center. I can't. I know. And she was named after when it first opened, the
Yeah.
great shopping mecca of America. But my girlfriend also does kind of a play off of. She has another character similar, so that's fun. And then my friend Chuck does. I don't know if you've ever seen him do Professor Cocktail.
No.
Oh my God, it's
That sounds
crazy.
fun.
But the thing is, he's not an actor, so when he gets into, we put a wig on him, and he makes all these crazy drinks, and he just becomes this other human. It's hysterical. I mean, he's totally not an actor, but that's what makes it fun.
But yes, yes.
And
Sometimes
and
people are not actors and they're amazing at doing
oh
characters.
no, and well, he really likes to drink, so that's what makes it fun. He makes crazy
That's his
drinks,
passion.
and then we make him make up. We give him names of drinks that he has to do, and then he takes it seriously. Then he goes and he finds the ingredients and he does it, and then we have beakers for him. So it's kind of like it's like a mad scientist, Professor Cocktail. And people ask for the character. If they don't see it, they get upset. It's
I
funny
love
how people can
that.
take to a character. Yeah.
They do. They do. Like Belle, like people love Belle more
Oh
than
wow.
Consuelo. And Consuelo is like my mom. So people don't like my mom so much as they like Belle is more based on me. She has more of my energy. So I think they like me more than they like my mom.
Okay, well, we have to have Bale too. I could
Ooh.
do a Southern accent.
Oh, girl. Oh, it's gonna be fun. So we have the characters too.
All
We
right.
can just play. It's so fun.
Okay, we will do. Yeah. All right. I will tell Jean to get in touch with you about that too.
I would
But
love
think.
that.
I mean, it's we want to. Well, we're going to do some of it live, but we will pre-tape the movie parts and the all the little bits. But oh, that's nice. Oh, thank you, Blue
Rhonda, I
Ocean.
am looking forward to the Apple Night reboot.
Oh,
Yes, I have so many happy memories from the first one. It will be wonderful to have Grace involved. She is awesome. Oh, thank you.
she is awesome.
Oh,
She
thank you.
is, and she will be a character and a personality on the show, and we will have lots of fun, and
I
it's going to
love
be
it.
great.
I love
We
it.
already, yeah,
Yay. We
and we
get
have
to
a
work
whole team
together.
behind us, so it's really exciting. And then we have a studio, so we'll get you here live in the studio, and then we'll get you also.
Girl,
We'll just,
I love traveling, so
all right,
I'm game.
okay, let's do it.
I got miles too.
So do I. I'm not showing them though.
All right. It
Oh,
was so great to have
thank you,
you here
baby. You
on the
too.
show. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for doing this.
Thank you.
And
Love you. And I'm so
I
happy
love
that
you
that
too.
you're good. You look fabulous.
Thank
And
you.
we will play very soon.
Oh, definitely. I can't wait.
All right.
All
And now,
right.
is your engineer going to take us out then?
I don't know. Are you there still? I don't know if he's there again. Are you there, mystery man? Why? You're typing with my name. Why? He doesn't want us to go, but we have to go. We have to go. Can you take us out and like do the outro? Actually, you know what? We're gonna do the little videos that we planned, and then I'm gonna exit. But um,
Okay.
Rhonda is ready, I think, but he doesn't want us to stop talking.
Oh my gosh. Listen, we've almost been on 2 hours. Look at it this way. And what
Yeah.
time is it? It's 12:30 my time. I
Oh. Yeah, no, you gotta go, girl. You gotta go and no, that's late. That's
It's
crazy.
not really late. If we're in a comedy club, it would be late, but
Yeah.
Oh, so
Oh, what
sorry.
did she do?
I think I just stuck my nail in her too hard. I'm so
Oh
sorry.
no, poor
Come say
baby.
goodbye. Come say goodbye. She's fine.
Bye,
Oh,
Molly.
she's so
Oh,
small. Imagine being this small in the world.
I know. Oh, she's
Yeah.
so cute. She looks like she's really sweet.
She's really sweet. She's really small and
Oh,
she's scared of everything and everyone. But
oh,
she's
poor
mighty though.
baby.
She's mighty.
Oh,
All right, say goodbye.
bye,
Oh,
Molly.
all right, I love you.
I love you
I'm not
too.
gonna do anything because your engineer's gonna do it for us.
Yes, because he's typing with the State of Grace Fraga name. What
I know.
do
Oh
you
wow, when I
think?
did that, it made hearts. That's
Oh,
cool.
it does hearts. Let me see. Not for me. Hello.
That's so
Not doing it for me.
cool.
That's so
That's
cool.
so AI.
I know. That's great. I love it. All right.
All right,
Mystery
baby.
Man, that's my engineer. Mystery Man, I call him.
Okay, well, Mystery Man, I'm going to sign off then.
Okay. Only for Rhonda. Okay. So you're going to keep me here. Are you going to keep me here? Do we still have people tuned in? Because if we do, oh, whoa, what just happened? What's going on? I know you put me the whole, like, if you guys are watching me on TV, it's gonna be like a big hair Grace right here. So, okay, so what we do is, let me look at my outline. So we're gonna roll a few videos to keep you up, you guys, on what I've been doing. Okay. So first of all, I don't know if you know, of course, I'm from Argentina. You know that, and I do teach Spanish. So we're gonna roll a little blurb, video, a little video on what I do with Spanish. Besides speaking it, I teach it. So let's roll it, Mystery Man. If you All right, I'm back in the big screen now. I'm not used to this. So, as you can see, I do Spanish lessons online. So, if you want to improve your Spanish or learn Spanish from the get go, like beginners, I do all levels. And I've been teaching Spanish for a very long time and I love doing it. And we can do it online. Super easy, you guys. And I think I might launch next year a channel called Spanish Lessons with Grace. I already created the channel. And so you really want to learn Spanish? That's great. Well, hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and I'll give you the tea because we can do it online. You don't need to, to come to LA to learn Spanish. So yeah, we can totally do that. So hit me up and I'd love to help you with Spanish. I've been doing it for so many years. Let me see, like, I don't want to say, but over 20 years. Like, and I do it. I have actually even celebrity kids that I teach Spanish to. So like I get referrals and I've known in the LA area and outside because they refer me to people in New York also. So I have students everywhere. It's all by referral because people are happy with the way I teach. They like my style and they learn. So, I just get lots of clients. Okay, so what's happening? The video and audio is lagging. Okay, he's saying just keep going. That's my engineer private chatting me here. That's saying the video is the video like not good, you guys? What's happening? Tell me if you feel it's a little bit slow or whatever. But anyway, So next, I want to tell you guys. Okay, so this is kind of like the after party, but we're not going to roll the video, I guess, for the after party. Um, so I wanted to tell you about I've been writing a lot. Okay, I always had these ideas of these books, and now with AI, it's so much easier. It helps you edit the books and everything. So I've been writing books, and one of the books that I wrote is called "A Fun Guide to Dating," and I am going to have the mystery man roll the video so you can see what it's all about. Okay. Everything looks good to me. Okay, so Blue Horseshoe is saying everything looks good to him. So good. I'm glad. I'm glad it does. Okay, so maybe it's just on your end, Mystery Man, that's happening. I don't know. It's okay for them. Okay. Oh, okay. So it was sorry, I'm like ADHD on you guys. But anyway, so yeah, so can you roll the video? I want to say commercial. It's a video. Fun Guide to Dating. It's the book. So dating is like trying to find a needle in a haystack, except the haystack is full of frogs and weird DMs. But who says you can't have fun while you're searching for that needle or prince? Say goodbye to dating disasters and hello to love that lights up your world. In Love, Laughter, and Lessons, a fun guide to dating, I spill all the secrets to navigating the dating scene with grace, humor, and just the right amount of sass. Whether you're swiping left or making eye contact across the room, I'll show you how to attract love like a magnet. It's time to stop waiting for love and start living it. Get your copy of Love, Laughter, and Lessons, a fun guide to dating today, and let the magic begin. All right, so that's been one of the I think it's like 4 books that I wrote in the last 2-3 months. So I always wanted to write a book about dating, and I'm a relationship coach, right? So I'm a certified relationship coach. So I always wanted to write about it, not only because I'm a relationship coach, but also because I used to be a professional dater. Okay. I dated a lot, but now I'm off dating. I learned a lot about dating. Then you heard some of the stories that I told Rhonda. She knew about the pant dropper guy. That was kind of like one of the things that made me go, maybe I should stop going on dating apps. So yeah, so I've been writing that, and I've also been writing, I always wanted to write about like my cancer journey, and I did write a book about my cancer journey, Get This Off My Chest, which by the way is a transformational kind of book. So it's not just for people that are going through an illness or a disease. It's just for everybody who wants to transform their life and get more joy and peace. Like Rhonda was saying today, right? Like she's reached a point where she has more peace and joy, and she's happy with her life. So that's what that book is about. And it's all the things, all the thoughts and the writings that I did during my cancer healing journey, because I thought a lot. I had a lot of time on my hands because I wasn't feeling too good during my treatment. So I just wrote and wrote and wrote. I wrote a comedy special. I wrote books. So this is a book, the next video that I'm going to show you guys, because I want to catch you up on what I've been doing. Okay. It's a book that's called Healing from Within. And what it is I realized, like when I was going through my cancer healing journey, how powerful our consciousness is. Call it mind, consciousness, spirit, whatever you want to call it. And so I learned how to get this ease out of my body. And I'm not saying I healed my cancer, because I did not do that, but like you have to read the book. Okay. So there's a way that you can help healing from certain diseases or from certain issues that you have. And I have it all in my book. It's very candid. It talks about the experiences that I've had, that I learned from my cancer healing journey. And so finally, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I told her about this, and she was like, girl, you got to write a book. Next thing you know, I'm writing a book, and it's called Healing from Within. So let's roll the video, Mr. Mystery Man. Are you ready to unlock your body's incredible power to heal itself? Discover the transformative journey in Healing from Within. In this powerful guide, I share my personal healing stories and the science behind the mind-body connection. With simple techniques like focusing on emotions, Healing from Within will guide you to tap into your own healing potential. This is your time to transform inside and out. Whether you're healing physically, emotionally, or mentally, Healing from Within will give you the tools you need to sustain a healing practice and embrace your journey. Healing from Within, available now at www.thestateofgraceshop.com. Visit www.thestateofgraceshop and start your healing journey today. All right. Do you know, guys, that I produce all the videos? Obviously that's my voice on the voiceover, and I do produce all the videos, which I love doing, by the way. It's one of my creative things that I love to do, and I'm getting better and better because, when I started, it wasn't that good, and I'm getting a little better, and I'm sure I'll get even better. So let me know in the comments if you enjoy the videos that I'm showing you guys. So speaking of the State of Grace shop, okay, which that was the last thing you saw in the video, I actually created some fun merch for Thanksgiving, okay? So go ahead and check the State of Grace shop. You'll find I have literally at this point like over 200 things there. Digital shows. I have, bail is there. You can buy bail. The Diaz. I have t-shirts, mugs, desk mats. Now I have another. I just started a show called Top 10 with Grace, and I have a co-host. Her name is Kathy Macaulay. She's fantastic. She has worked with Tim Conway on a tour, like a theater tour, and she's a voiceover teacher. She's brilliant, and she's so fun and so funny. And we're doing a show, Top 10 with Grace, and we created this merchandise that's available also on the State of Grace shop. And you might want to check it out. It's on top. It's really fun. But anyway, so that's one thing. But the Thanksgiving thing, which I create all the merch there, by the way. So I created some merch with like t-shirts. These t-shirts are amazing. I've been wearing it, gobble till you wobble. And then I have mugs also with that, and talk turkey to me, stuffed with gratitude. And then the other one is Thanksgiving calories don't count. So go ahead and get your t-shirt or your mug for Thanksgiving, and support the State of Grace shop and have something fun, because these are fun. I just love them. They're only available until after Thanksgiving Day. Well, the day of Thanksgiving, that's the last day. It's available for like another week, and that's it. So that's the Thanksgiving stuff and the top 10. Check it out. And we're going to roll a video that will show you, that I created too, that shows you the Thanksgiving merch. So let's roll that too. Thank you. This Thanksgiving, bring a little extra grace to your gatherings. Start your day with gratitude and a warm cup of love with our Thanksgiving mugs. Celebrate in style with our super soft teas for the big feast or a comfy couch day. Designed to bring joy, laughter, and a dash of Thanksgiving spirit to your home. These pieces are just waiting to make memories with you and your loved ones. Get yours now and make this Thanksgiving unforgettable. All right. So go ahead and get your Thanksgiving merch if you like it. If you don't like it, I'm okay. I'm not going to be offended. But I create all the designs there, you guys. Everything on that shop is like I said, over 200 items. And the books are available there on PDF. They're only $5.99. The books on PDF. You can read them on your phone or on your laptop. They're easy reads. They're really like packed with wisdom and experience and stories. And I think that you guys will enjoy them. So also, before I leave, I wanted to let you know I'm going to have another private party on December 7th at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. That will be my third party. I've had amazing guests, incredible fun. We have so much fun. We get to know each other. We play games. I try some of my new stand up that has not been tried anywhere before. You guys will be the first ones to hear it. And you're going to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the joke. So you get to be my workshop audience. Okay. Which is really special because, writing those jokes is like, they're like my babies. Okay. So I will show you my babies and you will be like, I like that one. That one's cute. That one, not so cute. So you get to judge my babies. And so we're going to have that party. And I also do characters. I roll some of the episodes of like Being in Love, Golfing with Jose, the Diaz, whichever one is the most popular seems to be Belle. She's very popular with you guys. So I will roll an episode that is actually on my paywalls and on my fan side. So you can't access it unless you pay for it. So I will be showing that. All of that for only $5. And we're going on for like, last party, we went on for like over an hour and a half. I think it was an hour and 45 minutes. We had a blast. The first party, and I think Blue Horseshoe was in the first party. I know he was. We had a blast too. It was him and Darth, and oh my God, we had so much fun, you guys. So definitely get your tickets. You can get it at thestateofgraceshop.com, and it's actually the first item that you'll see. Just click on it. Pay if you want to donate to the State of Grace. You can do that also, and then once I get the confirmation, I will send you the private link to the party. Okay. So, woohoo, your parties are fun. Oh, thank you. Well, you guys make it fun. That's why they're fun. Because I love how you guys participate and like you just give me so much and you make my night. Honest. It's like dating apps, screw that. I have my parties with my people here on YouTube. And that's what I swear to God. And I told you that. I know, Bill, I told you guys, I enjoy it so much. I'd rather do my parties on YouTube than go on a date, honest, because like, no, I know fun is guaranteed with you people. So, because you guys are amazing. All right. So definitely get your tickets. Only $5, really. You have nothing to lose, but $5. And you get all this stuff and you get to meet other cool people too, because we all interact. So it's really, really fun. And I might not on the December one, but on the next one, you might get to meet Psychic Patty because I still got to shoot the stuff, you guys. I have so much to do. I got to shoot Psychic Patty and Maurice, the French ladies man. So they're going to be incorporated in the parties too after I'm done shooting and editing, which I'm planning to do in December. So it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to shoot those too. And definitely, I can't wait to work with Rhonda on Up All Night reboot. Oh my God, that's going to be so fun. As you guys could tell, we've been friends for a long time. And I did date. I was engaged to her ex-brother-in-law. So we're family. And this was like 20 years ago that I was engaged. And he was an older guy. And I was engaged to him. And I had the most fun. He was like my most fun relationship ever. He was so fun. We were just two peas in a pod. And so we have that love for this person. And, so she's family. She's really family. So I can't wait to work with her too. So many good things, so much fun. You guys make everything so good. My lives, my parties, you make it just so much fun. I would do this like every day if I could. You guys are great. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making my life better. And I hope I make your life better. So with that being said, we're going to roll a little video on the stuff that you can get at the State of Grace shop. And then I'm going to say goodbye now. So I love you guys. It doesn't do the hearts for me. What's wrong, mystery man? Why doesn't it do the hearts? Come on, hearts. It did it for Rhonda. Boo. Okay. All right. Let's roll it. Mwah. Bye, guys. Love you.